Good, y'all listen. Look, I'm mad I even gotta say this.
Why are we acting like this is not? Get your fucking
There's nothing wrong with hate. You've got to hate some things with a passion. And destruction, they must dislike and hate with a passion.
Hello. Peace to the chat. Peace to everyone. It's so good to be here. Long time no see. Long time no chat. We up in it. We ain't gonna worry about that. Okay. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the playback, share the vid, all that jazz. I do appreciate you. Okay. We got some heavy things to talk about tonight. Really one in particular. That's why I just made the title about Karmelo, because that's really the main topic I want to talk about. I haven't got to talk about Cyrus yet. But I feel as though their cases are very similar and connected. We'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to start off with the live by saying RIP to the young brother Cyrus. I hope all Black Americans and those Black people that's within the diaspora that's on code understand the seriousness of boycotting these Asian businesses, because these people don't mess with us. Okay, we got TikTok over here. We want to try to be filtered just a little bit. But yeah, I hope y'all started on business and not supporting these Asian-owned businesses. We really shouldn't be supporting nobody but us, to be honest, without necessity. But definitely these Asian-owned businesses, they got to get this BTA. Okay, when it comes to missing out on the black dollar, because they don't deserve it. Okay, you want to align yourself with white tea supremacists, you want to hop on code with them, but that's where you go get your money from. Okay, so yeah, absolutely egregious, outrageous, everything between RIP to the young brother, because that was absolutely unjustified. And I wish the whole family would have got locked the fuck up for that. The mother, the father, and the son, to be honest. So yeah, but we're here to talk about Karmelo. So we're going to get to that in a second. Also, I just wanted to throw this in here too, because I don't go to the movie theaters often. Usually I go see movies. I mean, I do be watching movies in the crib, not gonna lie. You know, I try to go support Black American businesses or Black American directors, creators, you know, things of that nature. So I did go see the Wayne's brother new movie, scary movie. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, don't go see that shit. It's a waste of time. Now they did get $100 million in the box office. Congratulations to them on their opening weekend. But yeah, it's a waste of time. I think the Wayne's brothers just, man, it's time to pass the torch. I think they're not trying to pass the torch. If you watch the movie, then they kind of blatantly say that. I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but if you watch the end, yeah, they kind of blatantly say that they're not trying to pass the torch to no damn body, and that's the problem. But also, moreover, relating to the topic today, they do have some egregious jokes in there. I don't know what's up with the anti-Black racist sentiments, like undertones, and a lot of the jokes. It's weird. I don't know if the white folks told them, look, y'all can't bring this movie back unless y'all got a whole bunch of anti-Blackness within it, a whole bunch of anti-Black Americanness within it. But I was not feeling it at all. I'm gonna just be real. It was very unfunny. I don't know why they started off with Tiana Taylor. They trying to act like she our generation Halle Berry. She's not. She got half the acting skills. Let's just be honest. And she's not funny. So I don't even know why she was in the opening scene. It just wasn't it. But also, moreover, they had a joke in there about a young brother getting just a little early on YouTube, so I don't want to get too much, but getting hate crime. Let me say that. Had a little joke in there about that, which was egregious. I mean, it's just the climate. I mean, the climate is never appropriate, honestly, within the last 400 years. There's never been an appropriate moment for that, to be honest, but definitely not when we got two young brothers, one that just got hate crimed, and another one who's being basically metaphorically, let me just say the word metaphorically lynched, to be honest. Let's just be real. 35 years is absolutely fucking insane. So yeah, with that being said, don't go see that damn movie. If you're gonna watch it, wait till it come out on Amazon. They done made their money. They made their $100 million. That's good enough, honestly. I don't even know if y'all deserve that, because that movie was absolute bullshit. I don't know what young black comedians were, but that's who y'all should have had on that fucking movie. It was egregious. Very disappointed. I'm probably not going to go support another Wayne's brother movie in the theaters ever again. So maybe that's the last one. They did a little tease of white chicks too. I won't be seeing that shit. I can imagine the LGBTQ nonsense they'll have in there. So yeah, that'll probably be the first and last. Not first, because I didn't see the other Wayne's brother movies, but definitely last. They get $1 from me because that was just absolutely not it. Anyways. Now getting to the main topic. I just had to get that out the way, because I did make a rant about that on YouTube. But I mean, that's just, come on, y'all. Y'all couldn't have worse timing. And Hollywood, I don't put nothing past Hollywood. I don't think the timing is uncoincidental. Let me just say that. That this movie comes out the same weekend. What did it come out the same weekend that his trial started or ended? I doubt it. So in the same weekend or right around the time this happens, with the incident happened with the young brother Cyrus, I doubt it. I don't put nothing past Hollywood. I don't believe in coincidences. So yeah, they can take that as they will. You can take that as you will. But absolutely egregious. Again, RIP to the young brother Cyrus. Okay, Belton. Now, and go to hell, rich out. Anyways, and the rest of your family. So I want to get into Karmelo Anthony because peace to the chat. What's up, y'all, to the mods? I see you, Tori, in the chat. What's up, man? I want to get into Karmelo because I know that his trial just ended. As you all know, that he was sentenced to 35 years for self-defense. We're going to get into self-defense. I want to get into some of the things surrounding the case. I want to get into some of the things that happened within the trial because y'all know the trial they didn't allow cameras or anything in the courtroom, so nothing was recorded. Should I say everything is kind of hearsay? People just coming back, seeing what they said, what they heard in the courtroom, and reports that we got. So we're going to get into that. Before I do that, I do want to play this clip. I kind of want to play this clip because I'm tired of seeing the same pictures of Karmelo pop up. I don't like the fact that people keep using his what is it called? His mugshot. And I want to play this video, but the video has a song on it, of course, so I can't do it because of copyrights. I can't play the song, but I did just want y'all to see him in a different light because it's ridiculous, that we have this young man he's really a young man. He just became an adult, but he just turned 18. The incident happened when he was 16 or 17, or he just turned 19. He happened to happen when he was 17, if I'm not mistaken. So this young man, the fact that we're seeing they're trying to paint him in this terrible light, and they really trying to do some buck breaking or some sort of humiliation ritual with his hair being shaved off. I'm not going to be sure. I will show the picture a little in a minute. But the fact that they're doing all of this and they're acting like this boy and they're trying to paint this young man out to be some sort of violent criminal who deserves this sort of consequence is absolutely egregious. When we already know that if this was a white T boy, if this was a white T young man, this would have went completely different. We already know that they probably wouldn't even been on trial. We could say that for Asian. At this point, look at Cyrus. Because he was chased out of a damn store and they got off on self-defense. So self-defense only really works in one way. We know what they mean. They don't want black folks defending themselves point blank period, especially young boys. And even when they run away, that ain't enough because they really want slaves. They really want you to do as you're told. All right? You're going to sit there, you're going to listen, you're going to do as we told until we allow you to go. You don't have the free will, as they try to make it be painted out in court or the Constitution that, you have free will to know. The rights don't really go in our favor. They go in one side's favor. Okay. So let me play this clip right quick though. Just about his sentencing and the end of the trial. You know what? Before I do that, gotta cross my T's, dot my I's. My bad. It's been a little second. Let me get it together. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right, let me play this right quick. Oh, can I make this? Yeah, let me make that full screen. I'll make me smaller. Yeah, let's play this.
Quinones is in Texas. Texas late today, an emotionally charged murder trial sharply dividing a community just outside Dallas. A teenager convicted fatally stabbing a rival high school athlete during a track meet. How the community is responding tonight. ABC's John Quinones is in Texas.
Tonight, raw emotion and tensions running high outside this Texas courthouse as word of the verdict reached the crowd. After deliberating for less than 3 hours, the jury found the 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony guilty of murder in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, an athlete from a rival track team.
Both families became pretty emotional. They were holding it in as best they could, but you could hear emotions just on both sides, and you could see relief, and some of the Metcalf family rubbing each other's backs.
Prosecutors called it murder, plain and simple, telling the jury you can meet a shove with a shove, but they argued you don't get to meet a shove with a stab. Anthony never testified, and the jury rejected his claim of self-defense. The case fueling a debate over race and deeply dividing this community. It all started at a rainy track meet last year when Anthony walked under a tent belonging to Metcalf's team. After Anthony was repeatedly asked to leave, Metcalf pushed him, Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the chest. Metcalf died in the arms of his twin brother.
Karmelo Anthony, class of 2025.
Both teens were promising students and athletes.
It's a crazy situation, you know. Either way it go, there's no win in this.
Late today, Karmelo Anthony in tears as his mother took the stand, pleading with the jury to have mercy on her son, telling them her son is remorseful. And just a short time ago, Anthony...
And I'll be honest, he really shouldn't be. That was self-defense, brother. You did what you had to do. I understand you got to, in the eyes of the court, they want you to feel bad for the crime that you're being accused of and blase, but I'm going to keep it a bean. I wouldn't feel remorseful. If I was his mother, I'm not going to tell his mother how to feel. I'm not going to even word it like that. But I'm going to say in my predicament, if that was a family member of mine, I wouldn't feel remorseful. I don't think he should feel remorseful. But that young man chose and made the decisions he made that got him the consequences he got. It's really just that simple. And honestly, that was a little bit of false reporting because let me go back. Let me move to the next thing. Because he said that, and this is what has been reported multiple times, when it initially happened. Remember this happened like a year or two ago. So what's been going around so far, the initial story was, Austin and his twin, Hunter, walked up to Karmelo and told him to leave the tent and he wouldn't listen. And so he shoved him and Karmelo said, hit me if you want to. And then when he tried to hit him, he poked him up. Now that was the initial story that everybody was running with. Okay. Now, even with that story, I was like, it's still self-defense. You got two young men on this young boy these two young men, I really could call them men because if they was black again, they would just call their ass men, high school or not. So I really don't even give a damn about the technicalities for the white boys. But these two white boys are big as hell. I think they're like in their 200s. They football players, they athletes. This young man is an athlete, but he's like 100 and something pounds. He's shorter than them. And it's 2-on-1. So either way, it was self-defense. But we have more information now. More information has now come out because the surveillance footage from the school has been released. It hasn't been released to the public, but it was used in court. And then, for a short time after the incident, they was allowing people to come to the school. I guess certain individuals to come to the school to look at the surveillance footage. And the surveillance footage they showed in court apparently wasn't the same shit that wasn't the original surveillance footage. And we know that the police love to play these games. This is police games. They love editing videos and cutting things and blurring things out and cutting to certain parts to try to manipulate the perspective of what happened. But there are some people who saw the video and their perspectives. From what they saw ain't what was just reported in that news clip. That ain't the story that everybody was running with. That Austin and it was just Austin and his twin that walked up to him and told him to come out the tent. That wasn't even. Again, that still would have been self-defense. But that's not exactly what happened. Let's look.
In the video, on 2 hours, was it clear enough or was it fuzzy or what?
No, it was clear. It was clear enough where you can see the actual individual raindrops come by the camera.
Okay,
that's how clear it is. You actually see them walking up. You see that Karmelo is already up under there. He's under there minding his business.
Dodging the rain, or
it was still rain. Right. I'm familiar with them. So that day we were under a tornado watch. Right. And we were under thunderstorm warning, and we know we had already had some light rain then, and it started raining again. Then it was over with. Okay. So that's kind of what happened on that day. But they were at a rain delay already, and so during that time when that happened, the twins, their two buddies, and a few other kids, because there was a few kids involved with them. They were all coming from the direction of the middle school, coming walking back up. Right. On the video, you can see those four that actually was involved, and maybe about 3 or 4 others that was with them, skipping up, trying to catch up behind. One veered off probably toward his way to go to the coach and kind of distract him a little bit. And then the other 4 came walking together. One went in front of them, went past. Right. The other 4 went and they surrounded Karmelo. If you're Karmelo,
and they showed that on that video.
It's on the video.
Okay, come on.
You can see them walk.
I'm gonna say little stuff.
I'll put it this way. Okay. They actually tell you when you're watching the video, pay attention to this corner right here, because if you look anywhere else, you might miss different things. Okay. So watch those 4. Here, there are 4 right there coming up. Right. That's exactly what they say.
Okay.
So it wasn't just 2 of them; it was a group of young men. So this bullshit defense, so this narrative that the prosecutors are trying to push that, you can meet a shove with a shove, but you can't meet a shove with a knife. But you telling me I can't meet 4 shoves? I can't meet, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8 hands with a knife? That's equal? Now we're talking about wearing fair. That's fair. That's balanced. Right there is fighting 4 different people. 4 people are trying to attack you, and all I got is me. And mind you, 2 of these, the 2 white boys, the 2 twins, Austin and Hunter, are trained in jiu-jitsu. So you have 2 fighters who are also football players. Again, they big as hell. I don't know how big the other 2 are, but it really don't matter because he's still outnumbered. And that's still equal. That's not self-defense. That's you're supposed to fight a shove with 4 different hands. I'm sorry, 8 different hands shoving you back. That's just asinine. You can't win that. You got to be a Jet Li, Romeo must die, damn Mayweather type. We know that's not what the case was for this young man. He's a runner. He does track. So trying to even insinuate that he had some sort of fair fight there is absolutely insane. But again, even with it just being them 2, even if we were to stick with that narrative, even if that what would happen, damn the narrative, even if that's what happened, because that's not what would happen. And people are literally seeing the video and saying otherwise. So even if that were the case, and it was just them 2 white boys, he's not playing on even playing fields. Let's just be honest here. So again, this is white supremacy, and this is the rules of white supremacy. They move it in favor, move the goalposts in favor of wherever the whiteness it can be justified at. Because that's absolutely insane. I'm sorry. 4 young men on 1 boy, and mind you, again, these ain't no damn administrators. These ain't teachers. They don't have no power or control. It wasn't a coach over there telling him to move from out that tent. I'm sure if it was a coach or 2 coaches or 3 or 4 coaches, it would have went a little differently. I'm sure he wouldn't have been as intimidated, or he would have just listened because he's talking to an authority. You're talking about 2 white boys who just think they can boss around a young black man because they white. So yeah, he got what he got. Again, I don't feel no damn remorse for the family. Damn with him. But anyways, let's continue.
And so you have no way to be confused that it's those 4. Okay. So they come up, they surround them, and this immediate moment of not even a few seconds of pause, then that's when they jump. And so
they actually did jump him.
Yeah, it wasn't just no touch. It wasn't just all that moment. Yeah, it was a push. It was all kind of things. But Austin pushed, Hunter hit, and then everybody swung.
So 1 pushed and 1 hit. Again, you got 2 on 1. And then you got 2 other ones right beside him that's also trying to attack him. And he just literally said out his mouth, nah, that wasn't just no shove. That wasn't no. So again, prosecutors talking about you can meet a shove with a shovel. It wasn't just a shove. You talking about a shove, a hit, 2 other people trying to jump in, trying to jump him, and that's a fair fight? That's something he was once just supposed to fight back and do what he could with? And mind you, this is in a public space. This is with other people around, and nobody's helping him. Nobody's coming to his defense. Nobody's trying to jump in and get on Karmelo's side. So he's just supposed to stand there and let whatever happen happen, or is he supposed to defend his damn self? Right. Okay.
But at the same time,
so it's more than the twins that got some licks on 4. So it showed that in the video.
Yes, in the video. So again, you got Hunter and Austin standing in the middle.
Okay.
And you have the light bright boy here, and you have the darker boy here. Okay. I think that's what I remember. So I have to go back and think about it. But that's where they were. One was going up and down while they were talking, kind of pushing or whatever he was doing. Austin and Hunter was in front. So where they're talking about grabbing bags, Hunter actually said that I grabbed his bag.
Right.
And then later on, he said that Austin threw the bag.
Okay.
Jeff also said the same thing. And so that's them both antagonizing. And we know under Texas law, I just have the fear that you're about to do something to me and you can get up out of here. Yeah, so you don't have to touch me. But at that point, he still stood there and stopped there. And whatever they say alleged was said, you don't know that until they get to it here. But once they did that, they start hitting them. Karmelo actually was able to back out and try to get away. So he was actually trying to get away the first time. Austin grabbed him, and you can see his hoodie coming out like this.
Because it's I'm white and I say so. And this is why I said him and Cyrus cases are related, because Karmelo tried to back out. He tried to do what these white tees supremacists act like that's what she should have did is, yeah, you're supposed to back out and you're supposed to leave and walk away and be the bigger person and find an adult. And then, well, he tried to back out. He tried to walk away. And they said, no, I'm white and I say so. You gonna do it what the fuck we say, how we say it. Even though they allegedly are telling him to leave. Allegedly. That's what they saying. That's what they saying. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. My phone rang. Shit. Hold up. Let me text him. That's what they saying on, hold up, my bad. That's what they saying. Is that you're supposed to walk away, you're supposed to be the bigger person and such and all this and that. But when Cyrus runs away, he gets chased over 100 yards and gets shot down, pew down in the back, while still actively trying to run away. And they use the bullshit excuse that, oh, this was out of self-defense, as he's running away from them. Mind you, off of their property. Mind you, didn't take anything from their damn store. And Karmelo tries to walk away. Mind you, he don't really have to, because again, these little niggas ain't got no authority. These young crackers, my bad, YCs, ain't got no damn authority. They don't got no authority over this young man. They don't have no right to tell him what the fuck to do. They could have done the right thing and went to go get a coach and said, hey, this guy is not supposed to be on our team. He's on part of another school. You need to get him from another. That's what the fuck they were supposed to do. They took it upon their white tea supremacist selves to go over there and say, nah, we might not say so. That boy gonna listen to us. He damn sure gonna listen to us because it's two of us. And my man, it ain't two of us, it's four of us. He damn sure gonna do what we say. It ain't even about him listening to us because he tried to get the fuck regardless. I don't even really believe that they went over there and initially said, oh yeah, you need to get out. I don't even think that's what the initial words were, but we're gonna go with that narrative because that's what they said. I bet you it was something else with them talking shit or talking mess to this young man. I bet you it was something along the lines, and then it was, oh, you better do this. But even before then, again, the young man tried to leave. He tried to go. And they wouldn't even allow that to happen. So again, this was something they were asking for. They were trying to get into some sort of physical confrontation with this young man. They were damn near begging him for it. And now you got the consequences that we supposed to feel bad for you and your twin, which we're going to get into in a second, but let's go.
And they brought him back in.
Okay.
And when they brought him back in, that's when you can see Austin put him in a headlock. You can see that all the rest of them are still hitting. That must be when the poke happened, because he was able to get out again. He backed out. He looked to the right. That's where the other little kid was filming, because they got some cell phone footage too. But that's where he was filming. He looked directly at him in his camera, and then he went this way to the left. He went down. He fell. And that's when they realized he was gone. So they were still punching. And when he fell, that's when they all turned around. They started chasing him. Austin tried to go chase him too, but he grabbed his chest. I guess he realized that something happened to him. And that's when he went down a little bit and he fell down. But all three of them were chasing.
So even when this young man, that white boy was on the way out the door, he was so hyper-focused on trying to hurt Karmelo Anthony, but that he didn't even realize that he was hurt himself. He was so hyper-focused on trying to attack this young black man. He was so focused on that he didn't even realize he was hurting his damn self. And this isn't self-defense? He didn't even know he was hurt, let alone the other young men, the other white boys that was out there with him. They didn't even know he was hurt. They so worried about him. So if he's not worried about how hurt he is and how that could affect him, why should I? Why should I be so worried about it? If he's so worried about a black person's actions and their lack of actions, because mind you, Karmelo ain't do nothing but sit under the damn tent, sit under that tent, and then get attacked. So this young man didn't even do anything, but we supposed to feel so bad that even when he was on the way out the motherfucking door, he was on the way out the door. But he was still so worried about what a young black man was doing. He didn't even worry about the sake or the safety of his own life. Mind you, and Karmelo already admitted to the fact that he said, touch me and see what happened. Do something to me and see what happened, which is not a words of, that's not trying to provoke anything. That's warning you. Don't put your motherfucking hands on me. I don't think that's an intelligent decision. Don't do that. I don't think you should do that. And it's for them. He's saying this. So, I mean, and I seen a video of somebody saying like there was a thing of cultural incompetence, when people not saying, people not understanding, like when you say do one thing, like, yeah, do it again. Like when your mother tell you, oh, do this again. I'm sorry if I got to do something, but do that again and see what happens. So touch that again and da-da-da-da. Like other people don't talk to themselves. And I can understand that to a degree, but also it's like, nah, I think it's just common sense as well. I don't think you would want to find out. Why would you even want to test that out? If somebody say, put your hands on me and see what happened, or anything along the lines of that, and it's for y'all. I don't think that's an intelligent decision to mess with him. I don't think that's an intelligent decision. I mean, that's just what I would teach my child that. I don't think that's an intelligent. I don't think you should test the waters. Clearly, he got something waiting for you, so I don't think you should test the waters. But hey, let's go further into it, because there's also some discrepancies about even the poking up of him really poking up, because people are saying I seen another somebody else who said they was in the courtroom and they seen the video, and apparently he fell on him. Apparently allegedly Karmelo didn't even poke him up. He really fell on the pew. I mean, on the knife. On the I can't, what's another word for knife? I'm trying, because TikTok. I'm trying not to be too egregious. But people are saying, I'm seeing reports that he really fell on it, or he really attacked them, and that's how it kind of happened. He didn't intentionally poke him up. But again, either way, it was self-defense. Whether he did or not, I mean, it don't really make poker. Okay, that's a good one. I don't think it really makes a difference in my opinion, because either way it was self-defense, whether he ran into it or whether he did it himself. It's 4 against 1, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Blade is doing better. But anyways, here's somebody else who saw the video footage and is making their account.
Anthony, my name is T, and when I went to see the video, they asked if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Karmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent. And then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one, he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Karmelo Anthony. And like T said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Karmelo in the midst of them assaulting him. You can see Karmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Karmelo. He comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Karmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie. And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Karmelo was only 5'8", 130-something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220-something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can die from fights, from people using their hands. And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
Right. So we have another account, and I'm glad somebody said that too, that it was actually a utility blade. I'm trying to be careful with the words again, TikTok. But I also heard it was I guess that's what you mean, utility blade. That it was really something to help fix the cleats or clean the cleats with, or something. Like I said, he was a track star. He does track. So it was something to really clean the cleats with. It wasn't a knife. That was another thing that people were saying that wasn't unlawful for him to have. He shouldn't have had it on school grounds. Technically, I mean, if it was to clean the cleats, then why couldn't he have it on school grounds? But you're not supposed to have knives that's over 5 inches or something like that. So lawfully it was only 3.5 inches. So lawfully he wasn't holding anything that was again unlawful. But again, if it was to clean the cleats with, then he should be able to have it on school property. He didn't have it. It wasn't anything wrong with it. But anyways, then we have another account that it was more than one of them. I mean, it was more than just the 2 of them. And again, this is not something that Austin McCann's family is being honest and open about. They didn't come out and say, yeah, we regret the fact that our 2 boys, along with those other 2 boys, the 4 of them tried to jump Karmelo. That sort of language hasn't even been said from anybody from his side, because they're being disingenuous and they don't want to hold their own boys accountable for their actions. And we're gonna get further into some of their boys' action, because they try to paint these white boys out to be some sort of angels, or just this was just so undeserving, and they just didn't know. They're just so innocent, and they don't understand how this happened, when apparently they got some they got an egregious history. Them young boys, apparently they got some things that they done in the past that kind of exposes why they thought this sort of behavior was okay. And to treat Carmelo Anthony in this way was they thought they was going to get away with this. And they got some egregious past. We're going to get into that in a second. I do want to get into his parents, okay, for us. I want to get to Karmelo's parents because recently they did an interview on the Breakfast Club. I will just play clips. Y'all know the Breakfast Club with a copyright. We're not gonna play those games always. No, we're not. So, but I do have a couple notes that I took from watching. It was only like a 30-minute interview, and they went over some of the things from the case. And I have like 2 articles up. What do I have? 2 or 3? 2. I think I have like 2. Maybe 3. I gotta go back. I gotta look. Articles about what exactly they were talking about. So we're just going to get into that a little bit as well because his parents, you know, I definitely feel for the parents. That's definitely a hell of a thing to go through. I can't even imagine how they've been feeling this past year or so, dealing with this case in the trial and, all of the public attention, all of the backlash, the hatred. I'm sure they've gotten a lot of, the father talked about it and stuff. I've seen another interview, the father showing literally, he was like calling back people because people are like harassing their phone lines, calling them, saying all types of wild stuff about the child, about their parenting, about, just egregious things. The white supremacists, egregious. So, and again, this is in Texas, so them white folks down there is a different, I'm not gonna even say a different breed because honestly, all them people the same breed. Let me just be honest, but they're like an original breed of anti-black racists. So let's just, they're real wicked down there. I'm just gonna say that. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate. The super sticker. Now, let me see. Karmelo Anthony, sentenced to 35 years to murder conviction in high school. Let me see. Hold up. Is this the one about his parents? Let me just read. Actually, I don't think this is the one about his parents. Let me read a little bit though. The verdict reached in less than 3 hours, and 3 hours is absolutely insane. 3 hours without a not guilty verdict is absolutely insane. But again, the jury was all white tea, so that, and it was non-black. I think it was a couple immigrants in there, like some Asians, if I'm not mistaken. I heard, but none of them was black. Okay, which is absolutely insane. And let me say this too, because I think from the jump, they tried to set this young boy up for failure. They tried to set this young man up to be convicted of murder from the very jump, and the jury was very telling by itself. You're supposed to be being judged by a jury of your peers. A bunch of white tees ain't a jury of your peers. That's just insane. And then the couple of black jurors they did have that was supposed to be up there, they had them removed because of biases. And I'm like, I don't even know how I feel about some of the stuff they said. One of the judges, I got a clip of Judge Joe Brown talking about that. I was watching Judge Joe Brown talk about that, but apparently one of them was like, yeah, I don't feel right sending the young brother to jail. First of all, black people, that's why I'm like, I don't even know if this was a FBA. I just feel like FBAs, we got a little more common sense than that to say some shit like that, because they're going to view that as bias. If you say, oh yeah, I don't feel right sending the young brother to jail, or I'm da-da-da-da, like they're going to find, first of all, they already think you're biased because you're black, which is actually the opposite. They're biased because they're white tea. We're more justified. We are more willing to find justice in a situation. Don't really matter who it is, to be honest, across the board. They could be white tea, Hispanic, black, no matter. If you're a black American, more specifically, a black American specifically, let me say that, you are more willing, you are more prone to find justice in a situation and to have a more balanced point of view than any other group. Let's just keep it a bean. Let's just keep it a bean. Let's just keep it a bean. Let's be honest about that. The rest of these people have all had anti-black sentiments, biases, and prejudice, period. So no, we don't really suffer from that. They do. You know what I'm saying? These other groups do. So more particularly white tees, and these people know that, which is why they had the jury be all white tea, okay? Because they wanted everybody to feel so bad for this white boy and his family and his mother up there crying and his daddy and da-da-da and the twin. Oh, he was a twin. Yeah, okay. And now looking at this for what it is. Thank you, Marcus Moore. Shout out to the chat. I mean to the mods. Welcome back, Z. It's been a lot going on since you've been away. B1, let's get it in, man. We're gonna get into it. I'll be back. But anyways. Let me just see what I got pulled up here. Reached in less than 3 hours and read by Texas District Court Judge John Roach Jr. Could have carried a maximum of 99 years. Anthony was 17 at the time, but Texas law allowed him to be charged as an adult. He is now 19, which is absolutely insane too. Again, if he was white, he wouldn't have been charged at all, but he damn sure would have been charged as a juvenile. not as an adult. During the subsequent sentencing phase Tuesday evening, the jury rejected the defense arguments that Anthony's attack was carried out under sudden passion, which could have reduced his time. Some of his courtroom reacted with cries. Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, who made his first appearance in the courtroom, leaned forward. Anthony's mother wept. I don't really care about that. Metcalf, 17, was fatally poked on April 2nd as the track teams of Anthony's Centennial High School and Metcalf's Memorial High School participated in. Okay. Anthony admitted that the poking was, admitted to the poking, but his legal team argued he acted in self-defense under the pressure of physical intimidation. And that's another thing. I'm not sure. That's why I'm kind of mad that this trial wasn't able to be put on TV, because I'm just like, this was such, and I don't know, it should have been such a slam dunk defense, even though, again, I think these people were plotting against him. And I don't know if the lawyer was paid off or the lawyer was put something in his ear, put something in his pocket. But this is all allegations, speculations. But all I'm saying is, I don't know. And the fact that the lawyer was white tea as well, I know a lot of people was putting up lies. It was a lot of campaigns, a lot of propaganda out there lying about Karmelo Anthony and his family, talking about he got a public defender and they didn't want to spend all the money and blah, blah, blah. We're gonna get into that in a second too. Absolutely egregious. Lies, though. They actually had a lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer. So, but I don't know. It just feels like, what the fuck was he doing in that courtroom, man? What was he saying in that courtroom that didn't paint this out to perfectly be self-defense? Because the information that I'm hearing right now, the fact that it was for them, how are we not? This just don't make sense. It does make sense under the rules of white tea supremacy. Some might not say so. They do, it is what it is. And again, the jury being all white. But I'm like, what the fuck was this lawyer saying in there? Because this is crazy. Anyways, let me say, under the pressure of physical intimidation after he sat in the bleachers under the tent, rival high school, Metcalf died in Hunter's arms in a rainy day, the father said. And apparently that's not what happened. From the accounts we just heard from those two black folks that seen the videos, he died on, he got unalive when he was on the floor by himself. And his brother was still trying to trace Karmelo from what we just heard. But they're trying to say, again, I think they're just trying to paint this narrative that, I was just so heartbroken. I just couldn't believe he did that, even though really, you was you were raging out against this young black male, trying to display a high amount of violence against this young black male who's innocent and didn't do anything wrong, to be honest. Sitting under the tent, it's not like he was breaking the law or hurting somebody or abusing you know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing anything that deserved that sort of consequence of four young men walking up to him and threatening him, okay, with any sort of violence. So yeah. Anyways, but then they try to make it seem like he was just so sad, and they're like, no, you wasn't that sad. It seemed like you was more mad because they chased that young man after that happened. So yeah, it seemed like he was a little more mad than sad. After Anthony's was sentenced, Metcalf's mother, Megan, spoke, calling her son a peacemaker and protector, which is nonsense. And saying her loss will outlast Anthony's time behind bars. If he was a peacemaker and protector, he would have went and got a coach. He would have went and got an adult to intervene rather than trying to use his white privilege to get that young black male the hell up out of there in any way he saw fit. Okay? You may have just been given a sentence of 35 years, she said in the court addressing Anthony. You should feel lucky because I've been sentenced to a life without my son because of your son's actions. Because of your son's actions, he shouldn't feel lucky. Hell to the no. I hope his parents get an appeal, which they are getting an appeal. Thank God, we can get to that too. But they should be getting an appeal because that ain't no lucky thing. What are we talking about? And even one of the brothers, I just thought about something from the clip. One of the brothers in that news clip was like, yeah, there's no winning in this. There's winning in this. That ain't the first person I ever said there's no winning. Everybody lost. You got a young man who's going to jail. You got a young man who lost his life. There's no winning. There's winning in this case. There's a winning side. There could be a winning side. There's a winning side right now. Right now it's the Metcalf family because he just got sentenced to 35 years, which is absolute nonsense. It's egregious. It shouldn't have happened. But right now, the Metcalf family, but hopefully, preferably, he's exonerated after this appeal and he gets off, which really is not really getting off because he shouldn't even be put on. He should never been put on trial in the first damn place. But hopefully he's justifiably released and then he'll be on the winning side. Then Karmelo Anthony's family will be on the winning side, which they should be. because that little boy, that young man's life was in danger. With four, I'm sorry, I would feel threatened too if four big ass white boys was in front of me threatening me over me sitting down, not me doing something, not me harassing nobody, not me breaking the law again, over me just taking a seat while it's raining outside. They so pressed for me to move, and not just to move, let's just be honest, they just wanted to press this little boy. They so pressed to threaten me with violence and to pump me. I might be a little threatened. Yeah, threatened enough to poke you up if that's the need, if that's what it comes to. Because ultimately, it was four of y'all. Again, and two of them knew jujitsu. And two of them was big as shit. I don't even know what the other two little boys were, but the other two little boys, the twins are big as hell and play football and are athletic. So let's not sit here and play like these were just two scrawny ass little white boys who just told him nicely, could you please get from under our tent? But that's the narrative they're trying to paint. There was peacemakers and protectors. Girl, please get the hell out of here. Father Jeff also spoke, announcing the establishment of a scholarship in his late son's name, addressing the issue of race. McCaff was white and Anthony is black, which had been debated online and bled into the real world. Jeff McCaff said this was never about race or politics, and emphasized that we're all humans. We all bleed the same color. Yeah, don't they all say that? I'm colorblind. We're all the same in the inside. I mean, that's just anti-black racist 101, to be honest. And let's just be real. We're going to get to that racist ass father, too, because I know for a fact, at least now, that the father is an anti-black racist, is possible suspected white supremacist, and probably the mother as well. Let's just be honest. But yeah, that's bullshit talking about this ain't got nothing to do with race apologies. Absolutely. If it ain't nothing to do with race apologies, why is the jury all white? That's enough said right there. It has absolutely everything to do with race and politics, please. He told Anthony not to look down as he spoke. The schmurder, he said, came down to how you were raised with values and character. My kids have a wide array of friends. They weren't bullies. They weren't racist. Oh, okay. Really? Is that what it is? Okay, it just comes. And do you see how passive aggressive these people are? Because now what you saying, oh, well, it comes down to values and character. My kids have an array of friends and they're not racist. They're not bullies. What are you trying to imply about Karmelo Anthony's? What are you trying to say about Karmelo Anthony's parents and their parenting skills? You think Karmelo didn't have no morals and values or values and character? He wasn't raised with values and with values and character because he defended himself? Because I'm sorry, in the mind of a white tea supremacist, if you're not a submissive slave, if you don't do exactly what you're told, no matter the circumstances, no matter, even if you're completely in the right, you're always in the wrong as a slave. You're always in the wrong as a black person. Doesn't really matter. What you could be the most shucking and jiving, tap dancing Negro, boot licking Negro, doing everything that Massa is telling you to do. But if I say you wrong, nigga, you wrong. That's just the mindset of the white supremacist. So yeah, damn them values. I know they couldn't have been raised in the right if he didn't listen to my voice. If my boys said something, he couldn't have been raised right. What? That's what this is based, not race, not race and politics, but off character and values. Okay. He said it was time for Anthony to face the consequences of his actions. We were robbed. Pure unfiltered rage about his mother's. Jeff McCaff said later, adding that he feels pure unfiltered rage about his son's murder. Of course, the same rage that Austin was feeling when he was trying to attack Karmelo Anthony. That same anti-black rage is what your son was feeling. Did I got the wrong what you call this build up? Oh, I got the wrong. Y'all, why did y'all tell me I got the wrong article pulled up? That's not the one I'm reading. What the hell, Leonte? This is the one I'm reading. I didn't notice that. Hold up. Which one I got pulled up? This one. This is the one I got pulled up. My bad, y'all. But yeah, that same unfiltered rage is what your son was feeling, and look what that got him. Shouldn't you learn from your son's mistakes? It should be the other way around. They should be learning from their father's mistakes. But at this point, he done lost his life. I think he should learn from his mistakes. Because that rage, that white supremacist rage that your son was feeling got his ass unalived. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, you took someone from me who was supposed to be uncle, godfather to my kids, blah, 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 blah. You let the devil take over in that moment. Oh, wow. They love doing that. Hold up. He told Anthony, yeah, you let the devil take over. So who was taking over when Austin and them other three white boys, his twin and the other two white boys, went over there and tried to harass and threaten Karmelo Anthony? What spirit was taking over them? Was it God? Because to them, again, whiteness is godliness. It don't matter what actions it is. It could be the most egregious, horrific, terrible. That's why they justify slavery the way they do. This is the same reason that they use this to justify slavery. Because whiteness is correct. It doesn't matter what the actions are. As long as it's white, it's correct. It's justified. It's godly. So you're the devil, actually, for defending yourself. Really, you're Satan. Really, Satan is taking over your spirit. Because you're going against God, which is white. This is the way these people think, man. After his statement, Hunter McCabe returned to his teenage friends and supporters in court, was received with hugs, blah, 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 blah. She gave a tearful statement. The defense had called Anthony's mother to speak on his behalf. For the sentencing, she gave a tearful statement asking jurors to please have mercy on my son. He's very sorry for what he did. Jurors were instructed to consider whether Anthony acted under the influence of sudden passion. Defense attorneys Mike Howard told jurors that the law recognizes that decisions made in the heat of the moment are different than decisions that come after reflection. And I don't know. That's what I'm like, Mike Howard, I don't know. I don't even know how I feel about that defense because it was self-defense. Damn, the heat of the moment. What do you mean? The brother was threatened by 4 different young men. 2 of them twice his damn size. What do you mean? I mean, what are we saying right now? It's self-defense. But prosecutors Dewey Mitchell tried to sway jurors to impose harsher sentencing, saying whether you like it or not, mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. That's bullshit. That's insane. In this case, that's absolutely insane. In closing arguments earlier, Howard told jurors that the prosecutors failed to prove his client did anything but defend himself, which is a fact. After McCabe and others became enraged that Anthony was in their high school's tent. Howard had sought to establish during the trial that going to rival teams' tents and socializing customary and meets. That Anthony was invited to the tent, and that McCabe and Hunter standing nearby were physically intimidating. It is reasonable to worry these kids might jump in, that Hunter might pop in to defend his brother because the split second of chaos, you can tell. I mean, you can't know what's about to happen. And from what we see, that's exactly what happened. That brother said he had him in a chokehold. So I'm like, I don't know what video. That's what but this is how these white supremacists play. And this is what I'm saying. Ultimately, they were really coming down on this young brother, and they were playing the game so this brother had no way to win this, to be honest. Because I don't know what they did to manipulate that footage and what they played in that courtroom. But from what I heard from people who saw it in the courtroom, they were saying that, it was kind of blurry. You couldn't see this, and you had to focus on this part of the and you couldn't really see that. So I'm like, how did they manipulate this footage in a way that one person is saying, I could literally see 4 people attacking this young man, and then another group saying, or another person saying, I couldn't really tell. I mean, you could see him in the tent, then you couldn't see him come out. So I'm just saying, if you see 4 people jumping a young man, this is clearly self-defense. I don't even know how to trial. What more evidence you need outside of that? So I'm sure they did something to that footage. And why is it not released to the public? Why is it not released to the public? It could have been released to the damn public. That's insane. Because you can blur out faces. I understand this is on high school grounds and minors involved and things like that. You can blur out some faces, but you don't have to blur out the actions. You have to cut the actions out. Prosecuting attorney Bill Worski rebutted that the depiction of the event saying it was Anthony who threatened McCabe when he warned, touched me and found out. Yeah, that's not a threat. That's a response to a threat. That's not a threat. That's a response to a threat. Again, that's defense. That's self-defense. That's telling you don't put your motherfucking hands on me, man. We're not about, don't do that. Don't put your hands on me. Why would you want to find out? I'm just trying to figure out. If you're just trying to get this young man from under the tent, as innocent as they trying to make him seem like come out to be, all they trying to do is get this young man out the tent, right? Why would you want to find out what happens when you touch him? Why would you want to put your hands on him at all? If you're just trying to get him out the tent, why not just go get a coach? Why not go threaten to go get a parent? Get an adult involved. That's what they should have did, right? Okay. The poking is murder. I mean, murder, blah, 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 blah. Worski maintained that the encounter was one-on-one. It was not one-on-one. That others under the tent had not turned on him. That's a lie. Video showing during the trial supported the argument, which this one, like, they had to manipulate that footage. There's no way. He said that while some say events were a tragedy for everyone, blah, 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 it's a decision he made that he has to come to terms with. During the trial, several witnesses, many of them friends or teammates of McCabe, said McCabe at one point pushed Anthony to get him to move. There was some disagreement among them over how hard the push was, but several maintained Anthony bore primary responsibility, including a former friend of Anthony's who invited him to the tent and was close to McCabe. Some of the key witnesses were under 18, and Roach issued an order preventing publishing of their names. The school resource officer testified that the poking. Anthony said he warned McCaff not to touch him. Okay, hold up. We kind of going back over. Anthony had a 3.7 GPA. Posted $250,000 bond, was placed under house arrest. He was permitted to graduate under an agreement between advocates, so at least he was able to graduate. That's a blessing. The case racial components were debated online, blah. Okay, all right, let me go to the next article. Let's get into his parents. Like I said, his parents was recently did an interview with the Breakfast Club. I'm not gonna play that because the Breakfast Club be on move with the copyrights, blah. We're not getting into that. Okay, so I'm gonna read a couple articles that's kind of talking about it, and like I said, I got a couple notes. Parents speak about guilty verdict and murder trial. Okay. Karmelo Anthony's parents don't believe their son got a fair trial, and they say they're going to keep fighting until justice has been served. Kayla Hayes and Andrew Anthony discussed their son's guilty verdict with Mimi Brown in an emotional interview. Mimi asked the parents point blank if they thought Karmelo received a fair trial. Kayla said through her tears, absolutely not. And I'm glad she said that because absolutely not. He did not receive a fair trial. Karmelo was convicted and sentenced to 35 years in prison. Kayla said that she and the rest of Karmelo's family intend to keep fighting, adding, "We will not stop fighting for justice for my son." Anthony recalled the trial felt like a setup. And I'm glad the father is saying that because that's what it's given. It's given they set this young man up from the jump. As you know, there are no black jurors on the panel. The prosecution had dismissed two of the potential black jurors, and the judge overruled the defense's objections to the dismissal. The prosecution claimed there didn't need to be a diverse jury since they said the case was race neutral, which is insane. That's crazy the way these people play, man. Race neutral is crazy. And you got a young black man that's going on trial for defending his damn self. Are you serious? Against two white boys that was trying to attack him? 4, really, but definitely 2, at least. And you're trying to tell me this is race neutral? And in Texas, out of all states, please. However, some people disagree. So Representative Jasmine Crockett believes race definitely played into the divisive verdict. Cardi B, I don't care. Blah. Hold on, let me read the next one. Don't give a damn what Cardi B had to say about it. Although I do think she said that it was egregious. So I mean that's what's up. But Cardi, she done done some anti-black shit herself, so I don't really care about her opinion when it comes to this. Anyways, Karmelo Anthony's parents speak out on choosing a white attorney, negativity from the media and protecting their children and more. Karmelo Anthony's parents are breaking their silence on Thursday. The Breakfast Club. Right now we're in a nightmare. It does not feel real. We've been up all night crying, praying, and waiting for family to come in. Andrew said at the start of the conversation, and that they were at a loss for words. Among the many topics discussed, the parents opened up about how they learned Karmelo fatally poked Austin McCaff, the death threats and on underlining threats, and they received days later, and how their other children have been affected. Around 12-minute mark, Andrew spoke about how many of the people he consulted, including black attorneys, encouraged him to hire a white T lawyer, and to represent Karmelo. They're like, "Oh, you need a white T attorney to go out there and fight." Remember, they was telling us that. They kept telling us that. He was saying to his wife. It's a decision Andrew now seemingly regrets. When Brown asked what they would have done differently, he pointed back to the legal advice they received. "I was told, don't talk to this person, don't talk to that person. I feel like this was just a setup. Like I said, they told us, go get a white T attorney," which is crazy. I'm trying to figure out what did y'all go talk to the NAACP? Who the fuck did y'all go talk to that told y'all to get a white attorney? I don't know if they was trying to do that, and maybe I'll even give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe the reasoning then was like, okay, we got all these things. We got a white T juror, we got a white T judge, we got a white T prosecutor. Maybe if we use a white T lawyer, if they use a white T lawyer, that'll help them. They can use their white T privilege to leverage against the white T's that they're going up against. I don't know. Maybe that was the logic that was used, but I'm just like, why wouldn't you use a black lawyer is just going to understand the case in a different way than any other person would, especially a black male lawyer. That would have probably been your best bet as a black male lawyer. I'm just trying to figure out, and the way that the motivation they have to fight for a young black man in that position is completely different than a white T-man because all he really got motivation for is that check. I mean, maybe if he's a liberal and he's maybe if he's liberal, maybe if he's liberal and he feeling a little bad, but it's not the same. But it's not the same as as an older black male coming from that perspective. He's going to feel that a lot more than anybody else. Let me see. Andrew Anthony says Carmelo Anthony was targeted by a smear campaign. Yeah, it was. Moments later, Andrew shed light on what he believed was a smear campaign against Karmelo. He was never in trouble, and no, he was never suspended for a knife. Actually, what I learned is that they had a smear campaign that they did, which I do remember the father talking about that. The father later spoke about reaching out to several people for help, only to hit roadblocks. He stressed it's kind of a circle thing. It's kind of a circle thing, which I understand, but I realized through this, a black network is going to have to be done. Regarding how the incident and later the trial affected the couple's other children, Andrew said that they ultimately ended up taking them out of school. They had TikTok videos with my son with semen coming out his mouth. Do you see how these white supremacists are? That's so egregious. And this is why I can't feel bad for the kids. Y'all want to talk about remorse for their child? I mean, these white supremacist children be just as, sometimes, a lot of the times, be just as wicked as they damn parents. Let's not do this, because I know they talk about white supremacy, white racism has to be taught, it's learned, it's da-da-da-da. Well, nigga, you talking about high school, they've been learning it for all their damn life. 18 years old, you've been learning it for a long time. And mind you, they don't just learn it when you turn 10 and it's like, oh yeah, you need a HAT black people. This is a thing that's slowly taught, that's learned, as it's a learned behavior. They see them from childhood. You talking about, that's why you have incidents going up into preschool. Well, you got little preschoolers, 5-6-year-olds calling the young little black kids the N-word. You got them calling them monkeys. You got them calling them, you know what I'm saying? Doing all types of egregious things happening, because it's not something that just happens overnight. It's happened over multiple nights. This happens over multiple days, over multiple displays of anti-blackness, and they see it. They hear it, they feel it, and then they grow into it. And I think it's a spiritual thing as well. I think these people just, they are their father's devil. But, I'll move past that. The point is, I don't feel bad for these children, man. Absolutely the fuck not. They don't even see our children as human. And they teach their children not to either. So you want me to feel bad for these folks? No, I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. You got a picture of a young, you're trying to imply with that he'll be great? Are you serious? So you're celebrating and you're joking about the fact a young man who defended himself, a young man, this ain't even a grown ass man, this is a young man who was a child actually when the incident happened. He was 17. You're joking? Y'all think it's funny? In what world would y'all think it's funny? Black folks don't do that type of shit. Black kids don't even do that type of shit. You're joking about a young man being great for defending his damn self? This is the wickedness that goes through these people. I know I can't feel bad for the children. I can't. I'm sorry. As the legal process moves forward, Andrew and Hayes said they are continuing to process the outcome of the trial and its impact on their family. The interview detailed how they are responding to the guilty verdict and 35-year prison sentence while defending their son publicly. Yeah, and another thing, hold on, let me just pull up my little notes I had from the interview. Now, on a part of the interview, his father, Karmelo's father, says he kept repeating, not even just in one part of the interview, he kept saying throughout the interview, like he kept repeating, he's not a YN, he's not a young nigga. That's what YN, for those who don't know, he's not a YN. Like I can see that, y'all want to do something with some of the YNs, but he's not a YN. He has a high GPA and he does this and he goes to school. He has friends and he's trying to paint this picture of, of such as the good young man that he is, which I don't necessarily see a problem with. But I do have a problem with the fact that you're passively still, kind of dehumanizing even the YNs. Like, even if he was one of these young niggas who was young, who was wild, who had a criminal record, who went to juvie, who did it, that doesn't negate him defending himself. Like, that doesn't really change anything about that particular situation. That doesn't change the fact that he was attacked by 4 young men. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like in that way of thinking, because he also said something else that kind of triggered me as well. It's like, oh, you know, they already see us as emotional and undisciplined, and we don't like to follow the rules. And it's like, they're going to see us as anything. They're going to use any sort of justification they want to, because again, it's I might not say so. So they did that with George Floyd. This man was literally had a fucking knee on his neck for 9-10 minutes straight. I don't know in what world you can justify that. There is no world you can justify that outside of white supremacy. There's no rules, no laws where you can justify that outside of the white supremacist logic and laws. Point blank, period. So they will use anything in any sort of, they will move the goalposts wherever it needs to go, whether he's a criminal, whether he's an angel, whether he's a bookworm, whether he's a nerd, he's a gangster, he's a thug, it really don't matter, to be honest. I mean, the fact that they are trying to paint him out, he should be painted correctly. Your son, you should represent your son for who he is. If he's not a YN, he's not this, he's not, then make that clear. I don't got no problem with that. But don't feed into the narrative that, oh, well, if he was a YN, I could see how this will be justified, or I could see how, and that's what it kind of gave me a little bit. Like, it was, well, he's not a YN, he's not a YN. It's like, so the fuck what if he's not? You know, it don't really matter. And I'm going to be real, the white supremacists don't really give a fuck anyway, because they don't even see him as a human. Damn a YN. Shit, it would be better if they at least see him as a YN. They don't even see him as that. They have dehumanized this boy's life, period. They don't see him as a human being. They see that white boy as one, which is why they think what he did was wrong. Again, whiteness. He went against whiteness. So that's really the underlying issue here. It's not the fact that he's a YN or he's a, you know what I'm saying? He had anything on his record, he's a bad young man. No. It's the fact that he's a black boy that defended his damn self in Texas, out of all fucking places. They're not going to have that. And not only did he defend himself from the what came from his defending himself is one of their ancient, angelic, white, Anglo-Saxon little white T-boys. The real human. That's what the fucking problem is. It ain't got nothing to do with him being a YN. So it's like, again, I'm not trying to go too hard on the parents or anything like that, but I do want them to, like, especially if we going through with this appeal, this next round of media, let's make sure we clear with the language. Because them white folks don't give a fuck about whether he was a YN or, you know, a top-notch A-grade, you know, best student on campus. They don't really care. They don't really sway them either way. It's the fact that one of their white tees lost their life, and now we got to get that nigga. That's all that really is. Let me see. Mellow Father saying that he's not. Now I seen something else I didn't really like either. He said Mellow's father. He was like, when he was asked why didn't the defense call more witnesses, because apparently the prosecution called way more witnesses than the defense did. And so the lady asked them, the interviewer asked them, like, yeah, why didn't the defense call more witnesses? And the father is like, well, that's not my department. You know, he said he allowed the lawyers to take control because black men get emotional and don't follow instructions. So he wanted to stay calm and let them take the lead. And he says in the end, he playing the game. He says at the end of the interview that playing the game doesn't work. It's not for us. The justice system is not for us. Yeah, it's not. And this is what I'm saying. So you playing the game, you talking about, oh, why I let them take the lead? Like, fuck all that. I'm sorry. Y'all done been through all of this. You should know exactly why they didn't call as many witnesses they did. They should have called more. But even if you agreed or disagreed, you should know why. Damn, all this, that's not my department. Every department should be your department. That's your son, who's basically trying to lynch right now. I think you need to be on every motherfucking department. You need to be on every department. It shouldn't be no, I don't know why. Now, if you say, man, I'm exhausted, it's been a lot, there's just a lot going on. I know why I got it in my notes. I can't look. All I know is something. But for you to say, like, nah, that's not my department. Like, yeah, you know, I try to let them take the lead. Fuck, you let some white men take the lead on this? You let a white lawyer take the lead on this? That wasn't an intelligent decision. That's all I got to go off of is what the parents say, because the mother didn't contest. So this is what the father said. He's speaking for both of them. If that's what you allowed to happen in Texas with your son, your young black son, who just unalived a white boy, you allowed white men to take control of that situation, was a very unintelligent decision. I can't even sit here and fake like I can justify. That was egregious. For you to sit up here and say, I don't know what happened, that's not my department. That's egregious. That's a little egregious. But anyways, Again, I'm not trying to go too far. I'm not trying to go too hard on the parents because I mean I feel for them. It's egregious. It's just an egregious situation to be in. But I can't ignore that. Black attorneys told them to get a white. You better go to. Black attorneys told them to get a white attorney, which is egregious. Let me see. Witnesses lying about the story, saying Mello walked up to them asking to race. So yeah, the father did say that as well. That some of the witnesses they brought up, the prosecutors brought up, were lying. Which is unsurprising because this is what these white supremacists do. Again, these kids and a lot of the witnesses were children. That you want us to feel bad. You want us to feel bad for Austin. These kids up here literally lying about to get you done already lost life. Y'all talking about no winning. This young man had already lost his life. Now you about to make Karmelo lose half his life, 35 years. He'd be what? He's 20. He'd be what? 35. He'd be in his 40s, 50s by the time he get out of jail. What are we talking about? So y'all wanted him to lose a great portion of his life because you just want to stay on code with white supremacy? Yeah, you're just like your parents. But anyway, so some of the witnesses were lying, saying that Mello walked up to them asking about a race. So he did. Now they're literally, again, as I might not say so, they're trying to lie and flip the story and say that he wasn't just sitting there. He didn't just sit under there to be under the tent and get out the rain. He walked up to them trying to provoke them into a race. Acting like they didn't know Mello, but had pictures with witnesses' family. So many inconsistencies in the stories. Because one of the witnesses, he said that they didn't know Mello, but Mello had pictures. Karmelo had pictures with the person's family, like with their grandmother, something like that. But he actually came out of his mouth and said, "I don't know him." So yeah, these people were straight up lying. So many inconsistencies in the stories. Probably white kids and adults who've been told or knew to stay on code with white. I mean, to stay on code and stand with Austin and his family. Absolutely. Evidence showed Austin jump 3 bleachers to get to Mello. And they're trained in jiu-jitsu fight. They're trained in jiu-jitsu, which they are. Teachers testified Mello was running away and ran into him and stopped another student from attacking him. So Mello was running away from the 4 boys and he ran into a teacher, and the teacher had to stop them from attacking. One of the boys from attacking Karmelo. So again, he was running, he was walking away. Young brother is walking away. He's doing what these people say. This is how you're supposed to behave. You're supposed to, again, even what the father was saying, you're supposed to play the game. You're supposed to fall into, black boys, they're emotional and they don't like to follow the rules. So he's following the rules. He's trying to run away and avoid conflict, but they're still trying to chase his ass again. And again, they're not even worried about their friend. They're so worried about the actions or the being, just the being of this young young black boy, that they don't even care about the young man who was poked up and got left behind. Now here's the thing. Here's another thing I keep saying too. These coons, man. I mean raccoons. These raccoons, man. Y'all got the raccoons. Y'all got to stop with the propaganda, the false narratives. I'm gonna be real. Even if some of this shit were true, the fact that Karmelo got 35 years, it really shouldn't sway your opinion too much about what the fuck the parents is doing. That's why I'm not even trying to go too hard on the parents, because ultimately what matters is that this young boy deserves justice. Ultimately, what matters is that this young boy deserves justice. But you got people like this running around. This is not the first one. I've seen multiple people, white, black, but I'm worried about the black people. They're saying shit like this on the internet, just spreading misinformation. It's weird.
It's really fucking sickening. The fact that his family raised how much money? I thought y'all was just playing when y'all said Karmelo had a public defender. I thought that was just jokes. I just Googled it. That boy had a public defender, and they raised how much money and spent it on Cadillac Escalades and rims and houses. I know you fucking lying. They should have hired George Zimmerman's attorney. That's who they should have hired with all that money. I know you fucking lying, talking about, oh, we're going to have to appeal and we're going to have to do that. Like, the fact that they raised that money and didn't put it toward an attorney for their son tells me they didn't give a fuck about their son. That breaks my heart.
Like, why would you get up here and say some ignorant shit like this? Why would you get up here and say some ignorant shit like that, man? It's not true. It's not true. They didn't go buy a house. First of all, I don't know why y'all acting like he's coming from a family that wasn't already well off. They lived in a nice neighborhood. They had a nice house, nice cars. This is not a young boy that's coming from poverty. His family is like middle class, arguably like upper middle class. He's not coming from a family that's just reaching for some money, that's thirsty for money like that. What the fuck are you even talking about? But again, even if this were the case, why would you think that this will be an appropriate thing to put? Now you got all of these white tea supremacists and anti-black racists in the comments. Yep, the upper don't fall from the tree, and he was offered plea like for 7 years. The parents said no, and he's da-da-da-da, and his parents da-da-da. They bought a house, and yeah, I heard the parents didn't show up for the citizen, and now you just got all of this anti-black and more information, more propaganda to add to the smear campaign the father was talking about to go against Karmelo. And it's not even true, bitch. At least do a Google research, do a damn Google search. It's not true. That's all you really had to do. It's literally not true. Let me show you. Let me show you, because there was other reports saying that because y'all know that first of all, they didn't even want them to get the money. They tried to stop them from even getting the damn money. Because they tried to put a hold on their GoFundMe, or I don't think it was GoFundMe. It was some other what is it called? Some other platform they use, not GoFundMe. But they literally put a hold on it at first, so they didn't even have access to the money at first. And I don't even think they got access to all of the money, but they for sure retained a lawyer, Mike Howard. The lead attorney for Karmelo Anthony has jury reaches verdict. So I'm not about to get into this all this about him, but I'm just saying that's a quick Google search. He's not a public defender. That's money. That costs money. Whether it came out their pocket, came out the GoFundMe or whatever, the crowdfunding, that was somebody they had to pay for. So why would you get up here and lie like they didn't buy a house? Now they did have to relocate. And that's if they used the money for that. I think they did use some of the money for that. Actually, hold on, let me see. Do I got an article about that? Yeah, here we go right here. Actually, I do have an article for that. So I think they did use some of the money for relocation, but they were literally being harassed. They had to pull their fucking children out of school because their children was being bullied. You don't think that's a justified reason to use some of the money to relocate unexpectedly? Like, what are we talking about? That's ridiculous. Like, that's insane, the amount of misinformation. I'm saying this is from raccoons on the internet. This is insane from the white tea folks. I guess I seen a lot of it from white tea folks, of course, but that's kind of expected. They're white, and they're staying on code with the white supremacists. So they're going to use any narrative they can to try to paint him and his family out to be some undeserving beings. I don't even want to say humans, because they don't look at us as like that. So yeah, Karmelo Anthony family used donation money for relocation before $600,000 fundraiser was shut down. The damn fundraiser was shut down just days after Karmelo Anthony was convicted of murder and the fatal poking of Austin McCann. A fundraiser campaign is facing new scrutiny as questions swirl over how donations were used. According to a report from Fox News published on Thursday, June 11th, the campaign raised more than $600,000 before it was removed from Gibson Go. So it wasn't GoFundMe, it was Gibson Go. Following Karmelo's conviction, and a portion of the funds was used for relocation and living expenses incurred by Karmelo's family during his case. Shortly after Karmelo was convicted, Gibson Ghost shared a statement on X regarding the fundraiser. The statement pointed out that the fundraiser on the site has never been an endorsement of a person, their actions, their legal arguments, or their public statements. It added it was also not a declaration of innocence or public political statement. The fundraiser was created to support pretrial needs, and those funds were dispersed over the past year for lawful purposes. For lawful purposes, not going to go just buy new cars and houses for the hell of it. For lawful purposes, people, including legal defense and family relocation, because they were being harassed. With the stated purpose now complete, the fundraiser has been closed. Our policy is the fundraiser stated purpose says accurate, so givers always know what they are supporting. It remains unclear where Anthony's family has moved, because it shouldn't be clear. They shouldn't be doxxed because they've already been harassed. Why the hell would they dox themselves? The family was initially based in Frisco, Texas. However, a Facebook profile belonging to a man who identifies himself as Karmelo's father, Drew Anthony, lists New Orleans, Louisiana as his current city. As Globe previously reported, Karmelo 19 was found guilty on So yeah, like I said, they were not misusing those funds. Let's not do that. Please, black folks, get on code. Damn. Egregious, outrageous, everything between. That's just so egregious that I even got to say that. But we're talking about a fucking child. We're talking about a young man now. He's 19. A young man, a boy who just now is stepping foot into adulthood. He's doing it in such an egregious fucking way. He has to go through this process in such an egregious way already. The last thing he needs is for y'all out here spreading damn misinformation, talking about his family just out here spending money on random bullshit from a crowd GoFundMe. And especially when they're already trying, they don't even want his family to get that damn money. So please, y'all, like this, I mean, that's just, it's egregious, man. People are just be cooning out, man. It's egregious. Speaking of cooning out, look at this shit here. Hold up.
I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy. His daddy too goddamn weak for me. I don't like a weak nigga. His dad ain't willing to die, kill, or go to jail for nothing. That nigga just wants some bills paid. Karmelo, my heart go out to you if you ever see this video one day. Nigga, I'd rather stand with the Jeff Metcalf nigga than I would with Karmelo's daddy. Nigga is weak, dark side, and conservative. I ain't standing with no weak-ass black man, nigga. I'm off the case. I'm sending the money back. Go get them weak-ass nigga Benjamin Crump here. I'm a hello Anthony case. I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy.
Okay. Again, get on code, man. That's just, I mean, we already know he already be doing coonish shit any fucking way. So it's really not that damn surprising. But what are you talking about? Oh, shit. Hold up. Live restricted for some audiences. Great. Live restricted for 10 minutes. Great. I'm about to get halfway through this joint. Whatever. We're going to see. Hopefully I don't get banned or nothing like that. We'll see. But yeah, he done already done some anti-black things anyways. But come on. Come on, bro. Like, really? What are you talking about? He's talking about you rather stand with Jeff. You rather stand with the white tea supremacists. You rather stand with the white tea supremacists than stand with his family. That's why I'm like, we can be a little critical of things. Like, that's why I said I don't think that was an intelligent decision. You allowing him just to take the lead and have control and you fall back. Like, that's your son, brother. Stand on business. Brother, you need to be in every part of that business. Every part of that business. You should know every little detail that you got access to. You should at least have it noted somewhere if you don't know it off the top of your damn head. You should know it. It shouldn't be no, I don't know why they didn't bring no damn witnesses up. I don't think that was an intelligent decision. No. But am I about to get up here and say, oh, his daddy said this, so yeah, I'm going against him. I'd rather stand with Jess. I'd rather stand with the white tea supremacists. Why are you being like, come on, he's a paid agent at this point. I mean, I just don't got time. He causing confusion and chaos. Absolutely egregious, outrageous, everything. So I can't. Egregious. I mean, but black folks, get on code. Because this is when we talking about our children. I understand. And it was all, and we always get this. We always get the mix. This is what I'm saying. We can't have the tethers and the non-blacks, these fake ass Hispanics, all up in our business. We can't bring a slew of other issues when we got issues with we got homegrown issues, man. He's FBA. We got homegrown raccoons we got to deal with, man. We can't. I can't afford to be dealing with tethers and all types of other groups that when I identify as black and still got anti-blackness, they spewing over it. I just can't do it. I'm tired. I can't do it. We got too many niggas we already got to check. We don't got more room to be checking the other outside niggas. We just don't got time for it. We don't. I'm sorry. That's why we're delineating. Anyways, because I'm just saying, it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. We got to fight against the white supremacists and fight against the black folks that want to align with themselves with the white supremacists. Like, damn. The last thing we need is a fucking Jamaican over here telling me what the culture I don't have that you exploiting. I don't need it. I don't need it. We already got enough problems of our own, man. Anyways, this is the McCann family after the trial.
All right, everybody ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Good evening. I'm Greg Willis, Collin County District Attorney. Today, justice was served. A year ago, when this senseless murder unfolded, I said that it had struck a deep nerve in Collin County and far beyond. I asked our community to ignore all the noise and instead be level-headed and patient as the process worked. And today, the process delivered accountability. We are grateful to this jury, and we are grateful that the good citizens of Collin County had an opportunity to weigh in on this case. I'm proud of the exceptional work of Bill Werski and our team of prosecutors, DA investigators, and victim advocates, and all the good and outstanding men and women of the Collin County District Attorney's Office. We thank all the parents and their brave kids who did the right thing. Despite the trauma of witnessing the senseless murder at a school track meet, they cooperated fully and testified truthfully. Their courage was essential to securing justice in this case.
First of all, let me just say this. Hold up. Let me make myself a little smaller because I hope y'all seeing what I seen. Now the father, you see how much they project? Because if the father want to get up here and talk about the spirit of the devil, how Karmelo let the spirit of the devil, the spirit of Satan take over. And look at this white boy right here. Y'all see the way he look at this at Hunter's eyes. This is the twin. Look at his eyes. His eyes look demonic. It's given guilty. It's given his ass wasn't telling the truth. It's given he know exactly what the fuck he did wrong. He know exactly what his brother got exactly what he deserved. And he know damn well Karmelo shouldn't be going to jail, nor should be getting no fucking 35 years. That's what them eyes is. You see how dark them eyes? If you look at other pictures of the twins, his eyes don't look like that. His eyes look black. His eyes look, very dark. He got a very serious facial expression. I can understand because, it's the case of your brother and, but the eyes, man, it's the key to the soul, man. It's the windows to the soul. Them eyes look dark as shit. So I'm just saying, who is that? Who's playing on Satan's playground right now? Was it Karmelo or was it them twins? Because it's given it was them damn twins. It's given that brother feeling got some guilty actions. He's trying to suppress. It's given he got some rage in him. Some anti-black rage he still want to get out. You better let it go. You see what happened to your brother. You better let that shit go. I'm just saying, you see what happened to your brother. So I would suggest you let that shit go, man. But it's given that's what he got up in. He got a bunch of rage and regret in his eyes. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, hey, man, I don't know. I don't know. The mother got his arm, and is that the mother? I think that's the mother. Yes, it's just real weird energy right there. I'm not feeling it.
Their courage was essential to securing justice in this case. I'm especially honored to be joined here today by Jeff and Megan Metcalf and their son, Hunter. Their strength and grace through this has been their strength and grace throughout this unimaginable journey has been inspiring. They won't be taking questions at this time, but their presence here speaks volumes about their commitment to seeking justice for Austin. I want to thank Judge Rhodes for presiding over this trial with fairness and efficiency. I want to thank Frisco PD for their investigation. I want to thank the Collin County Sheriff's Office led by Sheriff Skinner for providing the security for the courthouse. I want to thank all law enforcement throughout the county for making this a safe trial for everyone.
Yeah, he looked hella demonic. Let me move on. Look at the father. And this is why I said the father has already been exposed for being an anti-black racist at this point. Let me play this.
I'm here with some hardcore receipts on the Austin Metcalf Karmelo Anthony trial aftermath. Jeff Metcalf got on TikTok Live and showed you his completely racist side. For him to sit there and say this wasn't about race, and this video I'm about to show you gives you an idea into how these twins were raised and how we ended up here and how they were most likely talking to Karmelo. Look at what Jeff Metcalf had to say about slavery.
Even though they did wrong, you're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more in privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us, and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass.
Someone over there sold you to us, and we put you to work. You see how you see the wording that they use? This is the logic of the white supremacists. We put you to work, and then we had a war to free your ass. We did this for you. We let y'all free. We put you to work. That's all we did was put you to work, and then we set you free. Is that what happened? Are we going to ignore the amount of egregious things that happened that you did to our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents, the children, our unborn children? Are we going to ignore those egregious things that y'all did? Are you going to skip over that? Because again, it doesn't matter to them. And this is what I'm saying. The white boys are anti-black racists, just like their father. This is what they grew up in. This is who they grew up around. Do you see that level of projection again they put onto us? Just like he was projecting about Karmelo being taken over by the devil when really it's you and your family, really it's you and your sons. Oh, well, you think you're going to get more privileges than me because you're a melanin? Well, you know for a fact that you get more privileges because of your lack of melanin. Because of your whiteness. You know that you get more privileges for that. That's why your son thought he could go over there and check that young black boy because of his lack of melanin. Not because of melanin. You know that. This is the logic of the white tea supremacists. This is what they do. They will move the goalposts in whatever way fits their script. Whatever way they need to move it, they're going to change the narrative to that. Yeah, we just set y'all free. We had a war against each other and set y'all. You ain't talking about how black Americans put BTA to y'all, and then white tea supremacists and made y'all and disciplined you all and showed you that y'all didn't have a choice but to set us free. We said we freed ourselves. Don't do that. Like we were just mommy and daddy was fighting and we just decided to let the kids free. Nah, that ain't what happened. Nah. But that's in his mind, that's what happened. Because in the mind of him, that's all the actions of the black folk. That shouldn't even be talked about. It don't matter the amount of the Nat Turner and Eric. All that, none of that happened. None of that matters, should I say. All that matters is what white folks said and did. Just like right now, all that matters is what my son did, my white son did, and what he said. That's all that matters. Everything else in between, oh, you niggas is just ungrateful. You just ungrateful. Y'all need to, hey, look, we're going to speed past all of that. Speed past him defending himself and speed past him running away and speed past them being 4 against 1. We're going to speed past all of that because white supremacy says, I'm white and I say so. So I said that shit was a self-defense. I said I set you niggas free. I said it's what I said. What I said is what I said, and that's what it's going to be. Under the system of white tea supremacy, that's what he got the privilege to do. And so that's what he was teaching his sons. These are ingrates. Y'all are ungrateful. Y'all are ungrateful. We didn't built this whole country for y'all. You got your comfortable. Y'all got your rights and all this other stuff. Look at that. Now look at you. And you're going to sit here and call me a racist? Me? What? You're going to sit here and call me a devil? What? This is how these people think. Man, let me finish.
And now you want to talk shit. Oh, I'm being so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you. You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled.
Look at all the free. Look at y'all. What I say, we ingrates, man. We're just entitled ingrates. That's what egregious. That is crazy, though. This is how these people really think. This is how they feel.
You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or race or gender.
Right. Right. But we know DEI was mainly benefiting white women. We know that DEI was mainly benefiting white tea women. Black folks, that wasn't even really for us. It wasn't benefiting us, just like affirmative action that Asians were so in outrage to get rid of, and we find out that they was benefiting from that. So please, what are we talking about? We know that this system always works in favor into anything non-black. Anything non-black and the closest in whiteness and anything close to it. That's who gets the benefits. And these people know that. But again, he's raising his sons to know that and pretend otherwise. These people are very intellectually dishonest. They use weaponized incompetence. So don't sit here and say and try to skew history, because when you check them on shit like this, they get real. They start to lag it a little bit because they know exactly what they're doing. But it's like when you're in this bubble, when you're raised in this environment where you don't have that pushback, or you don't have to answer to that pushback, then you don't have to, you don't worry about that process of thinking. You don't worry about the consequences that come with the people that can point out and then will go against that process of thinking and will stand for justice and defend themselves when that thinking turns into action, like it did with Austin McCaff. So yeah, and Karmelo Anthony, but this is who they was raised by. You want to talk about fucking character and values? What type of character and values would you instill into Austin and Hunter with that sort of rhetoric? Huh? I just want y'all to think. What type of value and character was instilled into that young man? Them two little white boys. What type of values and characters was instilled into them? Being raised with a man like this. Okay.
Ass idea was that. I don't know about you, but when I grew up, there was no participation trophy. There wasn't a safe space created for me because my feelings were hurt. We had to take actual responsibility for our own actions. Wow, what a concept.
Yeah, I know. What a concept. Why aren't you telling Austin? Why aren't you saying to the public, you know what? Austin needs to take the consequences, takes accountability for his own actions. Because had he not got up in Karmelo's face and assaulted him, then maybe he wouldn't be unalived right now. Why don't you say that to your son, to the other twin, so he don't make that same mistake? Again, I'm sorry, because again, he assaulted Karmelo as well. So why don't you try to do better with the other chance you got with the other son and teach him better? Why don't you teach him accountability? Because sitting up here saying that, oh, well, yeah, you just let the devil play with you, and oh yeah, you're lucky. The mother's up here saying, oh yeah, well, you're lucky you got 35 years because my son didn't do that. There's no accountability in that. Where's the accountability for Austin? Huh? When you talking about black folks need to take accountability, where's the accountability for your son? What about the accountability for yourself? Because maybe had you not taught him to be such an anti-black racist, he would have thought that he had the privilege, he would have had the audacity to go do some shit and stand on something he had really no grounds to stand on with a young man, another young man. He should have went and got an adult. That's how you take accountability. You know what? If you're in that predicament again, Hunter, you should go get an adult involved. Get an adult to tell him. Go get a coach to tell him to move tents. You don't go over there with you and your buddies thinking that y'all run shit, because you don't. And Karmelo had to let them know that. They really didn't give him a choice. You forced his hand to let him know that because he tried to walk away. So why don't you teach your son some accountability? Why don't you talk about how your son Austin should be accountable for his actions? Huh? But again, it's always moving the goalposts when it comes to white supremacists. It's always going to move the goalposts. Just like with the white tea wannabes, the Asians, Rick Chow, when it comes to Cyrus. Because they should have been held accountable. Why the fuck would you be running after a young boy? What? You're running after a 14-year-old boy? Because you think he stole water? R.I.P. to Latasha Harlins, because that was a similar story from the 90s. With another one, I think she was Korean. Another Asian store owner. Why should a product cost somebody their life? And mind you, this little boy didn't take anything. Neither did Latasha Harlins. Didn't take nothing. But even if they had that to cost them their life, where's the accountability? Where's the accountability for Rick Chow? He gets off on self-defense for chasing down a young boy over 100 yards. And I don't even know if it was the father. It could have been the son. I've seen a lot of speculation about that. Speculation allegation. But it could have been the son, which I think, in my opinion, makes more sense. The father probably just took the charge for it. But either way, both of them should have been put on trial and found guilty, in my opinion, to be honest. You both chased them, and the mother chased them. That's why all three of them should have went to jail. Jail and hell for all of them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Court adjourned, if it was up to me. If it was up to me. Unfortunately, it's not. But when it comes to non-black people, it's the accountability is right out the damn window, because why wouldn't they be held accountable for their actions? They didn't get held accountable for that. They got off. Rick Chow got off. And he point blank unalived a child while he was running away and off of his property without any of his property on him, without any of his belongings on him. Nothing from that store was on that little boy. But y'all, it's people up here. Thank y'all for the cash apps. I see y'all too. Thank you. Appreciate you. But there's no accountability on Rick Chow's side. There's no accountability on Austin McCann's side. But again, when it comes to black folks, it's all this accountability. It was no accountability for the white boy that unalived George Floyd. They was trying to move the goalposts on that. Again, we had raccoons trying to move the goalposts on that too. Oh, he could breathe. He was on drugs. Oh, he could do it. I did the stand. So I had somebody stood on my neck. I was breathing. It's always moving the goalpoints of accountability when it comes to black folks. We can never be the victims because they don't see us as human. You can only really be a victim if you're human. Mind you, they only do this type of shit with dogs. Dogs and animals. It's the only time and honestly, they be having more damn sympathy for their asses more time. Oh, well, he was untrained. Oh, well, he didn't know. Oh, well, he was there's an excuse for animals. They don't even give us no fucking excuse, even for our children. So don't ever get too comfortable, black folks. Please, y'all don't ever get too comfortable. I know these people let us say, oh, look how far we come along, especially these white folks, the white tea supremacists. They let us sit up here and act like, oh, yeah, look how far we come along. Look, just in the 60s, you guys couldn't vote. Hey, look how far we got. Look how much we gave you. But look how much y'all still dehumanize us. Look how much you still dehumanize our children. If you don't give a damn about your life, at least give a damn about the children's. Because that's insane. A young boy gets pew-pew over 100 yards away from a store that he didn't even steal anything from. He's trying to walk away from. And they still got in court and try to lie and say, oh yeah, he pulled a pew-pew out and try to shoot back. Try to pew-pew back. Still lying. Just like them witnesses got up there and lied for Austin McCaff saying, oh yeah, no, Karmelo came over here asking a race. He came over there provoking, trying to get them to race. What? So y'all are just, these people will literally straight up lie out their mouths. You can't believe shit. They are of their father the devil, man. You can't believe shit that come out their mouth. This is what they do. They will move the goalposts in whatever way they can. In whatever way they can. And I want to expose this about the son as well. Hold up. Shout out to Willie D Live. He posted this, I think a couple days ago, or not too long ago, 9 hours ago. I was about to say, I don't think it was a day ago, actually. But this is about the twins as well. Again, some of the history, because they try to paint this again, they try to push this smear campaign against Karmelo. But look at some of the things that we found out that Willie D found out about the twins.
This guy right here, not the lawyer on the left, but the one right in the middle. That is Hunter Metcalf. Hunter is the twin brother of Austin Metcalf, who was stabbed to death at Kirkendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025 by Karmelo Anthony, who was then 17 himself. Since Karmelo has been found guilty by a jury, not his peers, and sentenced to 35 years in prison. He is currently appealing. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So, here's a picture of Hunter and his twin brother, Austin.
Look, in that picture, their eyes don't look dark. I think that one's Hunter and that one's Austin. I'm not sure. But either way, neither one of their eyes look dark. I'm just saying, just an observation.
Who was killed. Don't ask me to pick out which one is which. That's their mother in the middle. A grieving mother. My condolences absolutely go out to her. But family, I still got to call a strike and a ball a ball. Just because one person died does not mean that we have to shut down on the person who survived the encounter. You see, it's possible to shut down on the person who survived the encounter if that person was a horrible person, if that person was a bad actor, had a reputation for being a bad actor, but quite the opposite. Hunter is the one who had the reputation for being a bad actor. His brother Austin is the one who had the reputation for being a bad actor. This is not me. I didn't have to go and do any incredible discovery to find this out. They have a reputation in Frisco, Texas. And I spoke to several people that live in Frisco, Texas, and they said those dudes were terrorists. Yeah. So it wasn't just Austin. In fact, it wasn't just Karmelo. He said these dudes was bullying some girls, some cheerleaders who went to the school. Hunter, either Hunter or Austin, allegedly told some cheerleaders at their school that their fists were bisexual. They hit girls and boys. Either their hands or their fists were bisexual. They hit girls and boys.
Character and values? Huh? Jeff McCaff, you talking about character and values, and your son is going around telling young women that their hands is bisexual? Oh, shows a lot about their character and values. I'm just saying.
Now, let's move on down to the fight. The fight in the stands. Several witnesses have said that they have seen the video of the fight. They put in a request to view the video at the school. The school has the tape. The school has the surveillance footage. It owns the surveillance footage. And they have allowed people to come in and watch the surveillance footage if they put in a request, and that request is accepted. So several people have said they watched the video, and make no mistake about it, Karmelo Anthony was jumped by several boys. But guess who in the smack dead in the middle? Guess who threw the very first punch, allegedly? This guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Metcalf, the brother of the deceased. They say he was so distraught that he could not speak. He could not give an interview after it happened. His mom and dad gave interviews, but he could not give an interview after it happened. And in fact,
and I think he could give an interview. He just was probably told not to, because he would expose exactly how guilty he really is. He would expose how guilty him and his brother actually were. That's why he couldn't give no damn interview. Not because he just was so emotional. He was just so distraught about what happened to his brother. Nah. I think he just would have exposed exactly what happened. He would have showed the hand. He would have exposed his hand. That's all that was. But they probably told him that we got to play the innocent role. We got to make sure that your brother looks innocent. We got to make sure you look innocent. We got to make it seem like you guys didn't do anything. You weren't the aggressors. If you get out there and say, "Hey, I'll do it again" to another N-word, then yeah, you gonna look a hell of a lot more. They're gonna look a hell of a lot more guilty. But again, this whole thing was set up. It feels like this whole thing was set up. This is somebody talking about the draft. I mean, he was a spectator in the court, and he's talking about the jury. Hold up, let me play this as well. 1 second. 1 second.
Everything was rigged in a way so that he would lose. Like the second you walked into the courtroom, everything felt set. The jury felt set. The judge felt set. That like it felt like a losing situation. So the judge played a big role in this as well, because I remember the second I saw him, it's almost like that there was a chip on his shoulder. Every angle that the defense tried to work, the judge just kept on cutting him, very dismissive about everything that was brought up by the defense. So it kind of, at that point, it became apparent to many of us that it wouldn't be, probably wouldn't go well. It didn't. So that everything was rigged in a way so that he would lose. Like the second you walked into the courtroom, everything felt set. The jury felt set. The judge felt set. That like it felt like a losing situation. So the judge played a big role in this as well, because I remember the second I saw him, it's almost like that there was a chip on his shoulder. Every angle that the defense tried to work, the judge just kept on cutting him, very dismissive about everything that was brought up by the defense. So it kind of, at that point, it became apparent to many of us that it wouldn't be, probably wouldn't go well. It didn't. So that everything was.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm like. It seemed like, and that's what it was given. That's what it was given, that this whole thing was set up so he wouldn't there was no way for him to win this case. And again, I don't know what that. I don't know what the lawyer was on, or what. So you know what I'm saying, who he's connected to, whatever the case may be. But it was definitely given. This was a setup for failure for sure. Now let me play this little clip too, as well. This is Dane Calloway. He's talking about, because a lot of people, and this is why I was like, I didn't want to choose. I chose the picture of him with when he was coming out. That's like a picture from like a year or so ago when the incident first happened. I think he was leaving the courthouse. He has on a suit. And he has his hair grown out. He recently, I think, well, not, I don't want to say recently, but he has cut his hair down, and he had like a shape up. But then when he got, prosecuted, when he was convicted, and found guilty, before he got transferred to prison, they like shaved all his hair off, which is like egregious outrage, everything between. And this is the new mugshot they got going around. I'm just not feeling it. It's egregious, giving humiliation ritual. So yeah, that's why I didn't want to make that put that on the thumbnail. But just an interesting point I see on here. Let me play this.
And that's the one where you see that he's bald. This is the reason why people were so upset. It was like, oh, they made him cut his hair. Keep in mind, his hair was already cut low, but I get it. They made him bald. So it says after intake, he was transported to his unit of assignment at the PAC unit near Navasota. So after intake, he was transported. And that's the part that stuck out. I was like, okay, so let me look this up. There is a process that they go through. They go to this place called the Bird Unit, which is in Huntsville. And after that, as far as processing is concerned, and then they'll go to the PAC unit, which is the Navasota one that you see here. Okay, this is upsetting to see. But here's the reason why this is upsetting. What you see here, what I'm showing you here is the senior warden of that particular facility, the Bird Unit, that's in Huntsville. So he had to go here first for processing. Notice the senior warden's name is Tyler Metcalf.
Tyler Metcalf. Now, I think he's about to say it anyways. We don't have proof that they're related, but I don't believe in coincidences. I'm gonna just be honest. There was a picture going around saying that the parents, they were saying that it was the parents with the judge and the DA, but come to find out it wasn't the judge and the DA. It was like that just wasn't the right people. But that was the narrative going around. But I don't believe in coincidences, man. So yeah, he might not be related, but that don't mean he don't know that family. You know what I'm saying? He don't know if you don't know what parts of their family might be connected or whatever. But I don't think it's a coincidence he ended up in the same jail as where the warden has the same last name as the quote unquote victim from this case. I mean, I don't know. Take that as you will, but hey, that's agreed.
He went here, and this was before he was transferred to the PAC unit. If we go back to the article, if you read down, it says authorities generally do not publicly disclose inmate transportation details before a transfer occurs or security reasons. Now it says reports, Sean Robb reported that inmates are typically transported with other prisoners and may take several stops or may make several stops before arriving in Huntsville for intake and classification. So that confirms that he's there with that. And that's a conflict of interest. I don't know if they have any relation. I cannot verify that. I don't know if he's related to the other Metcalfs within that area. I'm not exactly sure, but there's a strong possibility because he ended up coming out of Huntsville with a bald head. So that's to answer everybody's question about that. You are correct in wondering what happened here, and it had to happen in between him being transported, because he was immediately, as soon as they gave the guilty verdict, they immediately started the process to put him in jail. Like less than 24 hours, he was already at the facility. Like usually you would think that he would stay at the county jail, but no. They immediately started moving him. And I think, this was done to humiliate him. This is unfortunate. This is another reason why you could tell something is up. And to make matters worse, here's the judge in this case. Like right after that, he decides to do an interview. Judge Roach, the judge that oversaw Karmelo Anthony's case, conducting an interview. When have you ever seen this? Out of my years of life so far, I have never seen anything like this before.
Very suspicious activity, man. I'm like, it's very suspicious activity. I mean, the fact, and then him doing the interview afterwards from the warden having the same last name as Austin McCabe, to the judge, and the brother just saying right before I played this, the brother who was in the court observing said that the judge was very dismissive. He was very, and even before it, because the judge that he ended up with wasn't the original judge that was supposed to be on the case. He got transferred to this judge, to the judge that ended up giving him the sentencing. So the fact that he ended up getting this judge, and this judge ended up being so dismissive of everything that the defendants was saying, of every defense that was made for Karmelo, I mean, I just don't believe in coincidence. And then you come out and you're in an interview right afterwards in such a highly politicized case. Why would you even want to be at the forefront or be out and be so quick to say anything when this is still honestly still highly politicized? It's still going on. It's nationally recognized at this point. People are still fighting. It's protests. a lot going on, and you're ready to come out almost immediately after the case to jump out and say something, to jump out and do an interview. It's suspicious. I mean, I'm just saying it's very weird, very odd activity going on right now. I mean, it just don't make sense, especially when so many people are criticizing you in particular, you as the judge. Why would you feel the need to come out so quickly? I mean, so quickly, just to justify your actions, to say that you're not biased, to say that you try to fight for justice, or I mean, I don't know. It's just very weird. It's very weird. That's something like a lot of these people be connected, because let's not pretend like the McCaffs, like I said earlier, people was trying to act like Karmelo was coming from some sort of impoverished family or something like that. But the McCaffs, they aren't either. The McCaffs family, them niggas, they weren't poor, impoverished. These are young men who played sports. They did hunting and was got pictures with rifles and all this other stuff. Learned they was in jiu-jitsu. So they're not coming from the family. Their family might be well connected for all we know. And again, it's in Texas, out of all places. Their family might be well connected. We don't know. With Jeff McCaff getting up there saying shit like, "Oh, black people just ungrateful. We're just ingrates and we're entitled. We're trying to have black privilege," basically is what he was saying. He's already exposed his hand of being a white supremacist. We don't know what other white supremacists he might be connected to. We don't know. These people play dumb all the time. They act like they don't know each other all the time so they can get away with shit like this. So we don't know who he knows. We don't know who he's connected to, who he might be a relative to, who is one of his relatives could be married to, whose cousin. We don't know. It could be anybody. It could be this judge for all we know. Who knows? We don't know who they might have seen on a golf course one day, smoking a cigar with, who they having conversations with, might have got their number and been connected. I mean, I'm just saying. So yeah, it's very, very suspicious activity. Again, from the warning to the judge coming out and being so quick to speak on this case is very odd. It's very odd behavior. And again, I don't believe in coincidences, man. I see patterns. So I'm just saying, it's given this was a setup. But let's see. What else? What is this? Jasmine Crossing. I got a video from, I don't even know if I want to play it. She looked kind of crazy in this video. But I did send it to myself. Let me just play it because I sent it. So let's see. I don't know why she looks so kind of off in this video though, but yeah.
Great. For so many reasons. And so I was just speaking to a student that is shadowing.
Oh, you know what? I was looking at that too, because I know them hand signs. You know them hand signs. Was he throwing up a Mason hand signal? You know the Masons be doing that in court, throwing up hand signals and shit like that. I'm just saying. The little hand signals, they be doing that in court. I'm just saying. So I mean, I don't know if that was one he was doing. I know it's one where you like hold your hand and like do a triangle or something like that. Like I know that's one. I couldn't tell if he was doing that in that video, but if he was, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, that's what they do, man. They do dog whistles. They let each other know without trying to let us know.
Who wants to be a public defender. And so it takes me back to what actually made me decide to get into this legislative work in the first place, because I know that our systems are broken. And what we saw with that verdict is the evidence of a broken system. Now listen, from everything that I understand, which I wasn't at the trial because obviously I got a day job, but it's my understanding that Karmelo ended up stabbing, puncturing, I don't know what this tool was that they talk about, knife, or some refer to it as a tool. He ended up hitting Austin one time, and it was about where he hit him. One time, 2 inches. This wasn't someone who said, hey, let me stab you 5, 6, 7 times. And so when you're looking at the punishment range, there's a reason in Texas that it goes from 5 to 99 or life, because you are looking at how intentional, like how bad was this? 35 years for a kid who had decided to go under a tent that was not his team's tent as it was raining, and simply didn't want to be put out in the rain by some random kid that he didn't know who was larger than him. Listen, a lot of people don't know what it is to live as a Black person in this country, but just like you can give the benefit of the doubt to so many police officers when they go out and they shoot some Black unarmed person, even though they are trained, the fact that there was little to no mercy seen or humanity seen when this Black boy said that I was scared.
That's a good point too. I'm glad she brought that up about these police officers. Again, they give more grace to them, to grown ass men who are trained to handle and de-escalate situations like this, and they still react in egregious ways, in unnecessary ways. And they're still justified. A lot of these officers still end up getting off. They get moved. They get paid leave. What are we talking about? But y'all are so ready to jump and hop on and try to hold this young black boy accountable who was defending himself. I'm just saying.
Or the fact that honestly, anybody else who did something with such a small object, all I know is that it wasn't considered unlawful carrying of a weapon because the blade was not long enough. That they wouldn't even say, well, maybe this was more so something that looked like manslaughter.
Well, some people might say, why are you even bringing a knife like that to a track meet?
Yeah, people
and manslaughter would have been the only it shouldn't have been a judge. It should have been a trial at all or a charge at all. But if they was going to charge for murder, is crazy. It should have been manslaughter, to be honest. If they was going to charge, it should have even been murder. That's insane.
Say that, but walk a day in my shoes and then respond. Because we as black folks say, why is it that people need long arm guns when we are going out and having a First Amendment protest? But people say that's their right. They are allowed to do that. And again, it wasn't against the law for him to have it. It may have been prohibited by school rules, which he wasn't at his school at the time, but it definitely was not against the law.
So you think race played a role in the verdict?
Oh my God. I know Collin County. So absolutely. Collin County is right north of Dallas County. And I can tell you that I have had cases that I felt like played out differently because of the counties that they were in. And unfortunately, that was not the county for a black boy.
Rep Crockett, you might have seen that.
Of course, and I mean, it being an all-white jury kind of exposed that within itself. I don't know, you don't have to look into the. I didn't have to look into the county to see that, of course. But yeah, that's absolutely true. Let me play this as well. Now, shout out to Candace Matthews. She's been on Code talking about this as well, trying to help fight to get this young brother justice. Let me play this little clip of her. Hold up.
I came out here since you over here want to call this boy a murderer. Then we're gonna take the covers off you. Ain't no way in hell that you need to be a damn DA with this foolishness.
Now she's up here exposing the DA. This is why I'm like, y'all, from the judge, the lawyer, the prosecutor, the damn jail warden, the prison warden, man, the jury. It's looking real set up. It's looking real set up. But look at this. Look at this her exposing the DA.
No.
Or the prosecutor.
Hold this, please. I got you. That there is a 75-page federal lawsuit for sexual harassment of the DA that was saying that Karmelo Anthony is a murderer. Well, you need to be a registered sex offender, sucker. Let me read. The pot calling the kettle black cow, but you the whole DA out here. Oh, so you thought y'all was the only one that can go in PACES. And let me explain to you what PACES is. PACES is the database for federal lawsuits. See, we have a research team, baby, that's colder than the media. So let me go ahead and read a little bit of it, show you how disgusting this joke is. It's serious. After Jane Doe 1 refused defendant Willis, ain't that his name, Greg Willis? Oh, okay. Advances at the Galveston TDCAA conference, he treated her quite differently in the workplace. He began demeaning and berating her. In one closed door meeting, he told her, "You think like a child and I would treat you like a child." Defendant Willis likely appreciated the gender slurring that is implicit in a male supervisor telling a female employee that she thinks like a child. Oh, wait a minute, it gets better. Hold on. More than once, she tried to break free, but he held her tighter. These physical encounters were unwanted and sexual in nature. Jane Doe 1 eventually put in for a position in the Victim Assistance Division and got it in December 2020. This role put her under the supervision of Chief Prickle. However, the unwanted touches and full frontal hugs with moaning continued the most recent of the sexualized hugs back in April 2022. We got a damn freak for the DA, but you want to talk about Karmelo Anthony? No, we're gonna talk about you.
So we got a damn freak. Hey, she be having me weak sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. We got a damn freak. That's the DA. It's crazy work, but absolutely that's a fact. So yeah, I think that DA needs to be exposed. Absolutely egregious, outrageous, everything between. How the fuck you got a freaky dicky DA up here trying to prosecute Karmelo Anthony, and he looked like he need to be prosecuted his goddamn self? What are we talking about? All right, we may need to go back and look at every case he involved in, okay? Because he apparently can't keep his motherfucking ass to himself. He's already corrupt his damn self. And you want me to take the word of this DA, of the freaky dicky DA? And he's clearly been already corrupted. We don't know whatever sort of corruption he may be into. If he's doing this, he out here sexually assaulting women. He could be into all types of different corruption for all we know. So why would I want to take the word from him? Why would I think that he would be the appropriate one to bring up charges up against this young man? Egregious, outrageous, everything between. So yeah, let's hope. Shout out to the sister to Candace Matthews for staying on code with that. It's a blessing. And exposing these white supremacists for who they are, because absolutely egregious. They want to point the finger all they want, but they don't want to point the finger back. They don't want to hold up that mirror. They don't want to look in that mirror. Don't nobody want to talk about that. Y'all want to talk about Karmelo and they blame, but they got a public defender. Y'all want to talk about his parents and all types of shit, and make up all these lies. But y'all want to look at these facts that's being brought up about some of the things surrounding this case. Egregious, and some of the people involved in it, like that damn DA. So yeah, absolutely egregious, everything between. Shout out to her again though, because she's helping them get an appeal. She is helping them with the appeal, I believe, Karmelo and his family. So that's what's up. We got some black folks involved this time around. I hope that it go a little different, okay? They have an attorney. What's the attorney name? Donnie Jess Perales. Is he Hispanic? Perales? Is that Perales? Am I pronouncing that right? Either way, he ain't black, so I'm a little concerned. I'm side-eyeing a little bit because he ain't black. I'm like, I thought we learned now. I thought Daddy just said we learned. We shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I hope he got a black team. Or they got more than one lawyer. I don't know. But either way, even if he is that, I hope that this one, if this is the lawyer they secured, I hope that this one know what the fuck he doing. I hope he know better than what the last one was doing, and I hope that he get this appeal popping, okay? And our young brother is exonerated, because this is absolutely egregious. He shouldn't even have to be exonerated because he's not guilty of anything. Being self-defense is not a guilty action. That's not something you should be charged for or prosecuted for. Damn sure not doing 35 years for in jail as a young man. Defending yourself. That's absolutely insane. So yeah, again, but these are the laws and rules of white supremacy. This is what they move by, man. But shout out to them, the parents. I wish them the best. I pray that this next process in this journey of getting justice for Karmelo Anthony, I hope he gets released. Like seriously, I definitely pray he gets released. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. And pray that this appeal happens, because I know they let it play. The courts, that's the only thing about the courts, is they let it play. You know, they'll try to take forever. They'll do continuances, and they'll try to push this out for another year or 2 years. You know, get less media traction on it, less eyes on it, less people talking about it. You know, because the longer you wait, the less attention it attracts. You know, so they'll try to stretch this out for as long as they can. You know, just so they can try to bullshit these people again, you know. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep our eyes on that, keep our ears out for it, and see, keep up with any with his case. But president who gets appealed, that gets appealed, because 35 years is absolutely insane, man. He's 17, he's 19 years old. That young man is only 19 years old. That's crazy. That's more than could be half his damn life. That's insane. 35 years old. Even if he get out with what? Even if he do 17 years, if he do half and get probation, that's still egregious to have that on his jacket. To have a smarter charge on his jacket is still an egregious thing to live with. You know what I'm saying? And still he would still be what, in his 30s, mid-30s by the time he get out. That's still a lot of his youth being taken from him, you know, for defending himself. Something that we should be promoting our children to do. We shouldn't allow him to just sit there. What was supposed to, what they wanted him to do, sit there and get jumped. And the white boys not get prosecuted, because had he even done what they want him, what they quote unquote really wanted him to do, which was to run away, which he tried to run away, they pulled his ass back in. So not fight back Because really, even if he would have fought back, they would have tried to demonize him for even that. Even if he didn't have the weapon on him, he would have still got demonized for that, for even fighting back. So what they wanted him to do was lay there and take it. Because since I'm white, and I'm white and I say so. And even if he had done that, them white T boys wouldn't have got prosecuted for that. If they would have hurt him or injured him, put him in the hospital or unalived him from jumping him, they wouldn't have got put in for that. It would have been, oh, he was under the wrong tent, and oh, he wasn't doing as he was told, and oh, he should have been under his tent, and oh, they were just trying to remove him, and he was violent. He was being aggressive, and they just tried to break up the fight, but then, oh no, he just couldn't. He kept moving. I told him to stop moving. I put him in the hold, and he wouldn't just stop moving until all he had to do was listen. So either way you flip this, they would have moved the goalposts in a way to make it seem like Austin and Hunter was in the right. Because they're white, and white is always right under the system of white supremacy. That's all that matters. And if it ain't right, we're gonna make it right because I'm white and I say so. So yeah, I said he right. So yeah, your black ass going to jail. That's just how unfortunately these people operate. Last thing I want to pull this up to, just to end on a more positive note, because I don't even know if this person was actually a part of the jury for. Can I play this on YouTube? I think I can. I'm gonna play it anyways. Fuck it. I don't know if this person was a part of the jury for Karmelo Anthony, but I'm gonna play this anyways, man, because ignorance. Also, I don't condone violence. I condone self-defense. Just saying.
Hey, wasn't you on jury selection?
No, he wasn't. Man. No, he wasn't. Seriously. No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
He was on jury selection.
He's a vet, dude. He's a vet. He's a vet. He ain't been on jury selection.
I ain't worried about that.
Fuck you.
You gonna die.
Quit, dude.
You on jury? Wasn't you on jury?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
You on jury selection?
He wasn't.
You was on jury selection? Oh. Not for Anthony, not for Karmelo Anthony. Oh. All right, my beat. I thought you was on jurisdiction for my beat.
My beat is crazy.
Man, what?
He said my beat. It's crazy. Brother, you ain't have to apologize. That was just for the culture. I don't even give a damn. I don't give a damn that white. We just needed to see that. In this the turmoil we've been feeling for the last couple weeks and last couple days between Cyrus and Karmelo, we just need to see some shit like that. Honestly, you could have done worse. It would have still been funny. It wouldn't nobody been mad at you, brother. You ain't have to apologize for that. You ain't have to apologize for that. Honestly, you did. Because he probably looked like one of the fucking jurors, even if he wasn't. He might be related to one of them jurors. And you know what? Even if he wasn't related, he might still feel Karmelo is guilty. So you know what? The hell with it. You know what? They need a little black hand to the back of their head or to the front of their head. So sometimes it's just necessary. Hey, look, again, I don't condone violence. I don't condone violence. I condone self-defense, man, and justified violence. I'm just saying. Anyways, but yeah, she was funny as hell. My me is crazy. He's retired. Anyways, again, stay strong, Karmelo Anthony. His family can, definitely. I'm feeling for his family. My prayers goes out to his family for Karmelo. I pray that he is protected in that jail, around all them white tees, because we know how these COs like to play. We know what they've done to other black folks that have stood on black business before, on justified self-defense. Before, these people will play in jail, they'll try to harass, they'll try to starve him, they'll try to beat him up, they'll try to, try to make it seem like he's having depressive or unaliving thoughts. And if he do something or something happened to him, they'll try to paint it in a picture that it was him unaliving himself, or, it was justified when if something does happen to him, knock on wood, nothing does happen to him while he's in there. So yeah, we just have to be very careful. I think did I see something about him being in protective custody? I think I did see something about him being in protective custody because they was afraid that some sort of white supremacist groups, not afraid, But they didn't want any white supremacist groups kind of attacking him or trying to, you know, have retaliation against him inside jail. So I want to say I did see something about him, but hopefully he is inside some sort of protective custody, because absolutely egregious. Y'all know that our brother's life is still on the line, messing with them crackers. And again, y'all don't forget that this is Texas. Texas, them Ritz crackers down there are very vicious. They're very wicked, and that's why I'm not surprised that this verdict went the way it did, because that's how them people move. I wouldn't be surprised if all of these people are interconnected between the DA, the judge, the warden, the father, the family, Austin and Hunter. I wouldn't be surprised, because that's how these people operate, especially in them southern cities, man, them southern counties, them smaller counties, them southern areas with the small towns. And yeah, you know, it's not hard for you to know somebody to know somebody you know. Okay. So yeah, absolutely egregious, outrageous, everything between. Again, condolences to Cyrus's family. Okay. RIP to that young man, and condolences to their family. I wish that they could have got justice for that young boy. Again, continue to boycott these Asian businesses, because to hell with them. Them people don't like us. They never have. And it's funny, because these Asians that I see coming out, even explaining it, even with the ones that are trying, so it seems like maybe one or two with them saying, like, kind of not trying to be, or trying to push some rhetoric against anti-Black racism or against the racism they see their community display so heavily. But even them, it's like, y'all are still you're exposing your own hand, you know, because I've seen nobody say anything about how, oh yeah, well, Black people are talking about boycotting Asian businesses, and Asians are, you know, trying to they're trying to prove that all of us aren't racist or something along the lines of that. But there's nobody that can say, oh yeah, well, Black people are boycotting Asian businesses, and well, Asians are boycotting Black businesses in retaliation, because y'all already don't do that. Y'all already do that. I'm sorry. Y'all already don't support our businesses. Y'all already don't put a damn dollar in Black folks' pockets. Y'all don't. Y'all don't do nothing for Black folks. Honestly, nothing from what I've seen. This has been an Asian, a carry out on every corner. Everybody lived in majority Black neighborhoods and hoods and well-off Black neighborhoods, you know, somewhere in the middle. Black neighborhoods, it's usually a carry out or a nail salon owned by some Asians, or, you know, something of that sort. In a Black neighborhood, in any Black space I've been in, and I've never seen no Asians in a Black space. But we in their spaces, we in their stores, we in their beauty supply stores, we in their gas stations, but I don't never see them in ours. Y'all know I've been working at a Black-owned restaurant for like the last 2 years now, over 2 years. I can probably count on one hand how many Asian customers we done had come in that fucking restaurant. And I probably wouldn't use all 5 fingers. I promise you them people don't support our businesses. They don't support a goddamn thing we do. So us just returning the favor, honestly, is something we should have been doing, because they've been not supporting us. They've been exploiting from our community. They've been racist as fuck. They've been watching us, following us around the store. When I seen that surveillance footage of Cyrus walking around that store, and that punk ass Asian lady telling him, oh yeah, you got to take your book bag off. Then when he takes his book bag off, she still deliberately walks around the counter to go act like she messing with some chips just to follow him and see what he doing. Then she go by the water, see what he doing. Then she just end up blatantly just standing there and blatantly just watching him. When he starts to open the little door and reach for the water bottle, as soon as he do that, she just stop and start looking. So these people been doing it. I've experienced that multiple times in a gas station or a beauty supply store especially. You know not to put nothing up without, because them niggas is looking. They definitely looking at every little thing you touch in that store. And they waiting for you to do something, just so they can take your picture and put you up on the wall. Yeah, I know y'all have seen those. If you done went to any majority Black neighborhood, especially if it's in the hood or by the hood, you done seen the wall of shame, where they got pictures of sisters up there that allegedly stole something. And they got their pictures plastered up on the wall. Hurry up and buy. Yep, that's what they do. So these people been doing that. They don't support Jeannie. I remember a few years ago when Jeannie Mai exposed that. Jeannie Mai, the same one who had a baby with a Black man, Jeezy. Jeezy, we still disappointed about you on that. I know your concerts look fine. You know, you got the little Met Gala thing going on. I'm still highly disappointed. I ain't forgot you wouldn't have had that baby with that fucking Asian, that anti-Black ass Asian. Now you got this mixed baby that's about to grow confused and say, I'm already knowing how that's about to go. Egregious. Outrageous, everything in between. We still disappointed about that, Jeezy. We ain't forget. Okay. But Jeannie Mai exposed her hand years ago when the whole Stop Asian Hate thing happened, and she got him. I remember reacting to it, and she was like, got him on TV, like, yeah, you know, black people support Asian businesses and Asians bring all these things to the neighborhood for black people to support, something along the lines of that. She couldn't say like Asians support black businesses. She couldn't even say the lie. She couldn't even allow that lie come out of her mouth. That's how much untruth it was. That's how blatantly untrue it was. She couldn't even come out and even say, well, yeah, some of us support black, but she couldn't even say that because they literally don't support us at all. They literally don't add any value to our community. They only come there to exploit. That is all. That is it. And she knows that. And this is how you know they operate within the logic of white supremacy, because they know that they don't want anything from us but that. They know damn well they come in our neighborhoods. They see the things that other businesses do. They can give back. They can have back to school specials, and they can do this, and they choose not to do these things because they know they don't have to, because unfortunately some Negroes is going to go there regardless. Well, what we're saying now is we ain't going there at all. Regardless. We're not going there at all. You get nothing from us. I'm sorry. And I had a taste for some pho the other day and some ramen. I was like, I was supposed to go get some pho with my daddy. I said, Dad, we're gonna have to go get something else. We gotta find a black owned joint that sells some sort of like, you know, some sort of black ass pho or ramen, because we're not doing Asian shit. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. I can't. We're gonna have to find a way to make it ourselves. We can't go there. We can't do that. So yeah, man, we are very much standing on 10 toes. I'm not supporting no black. I'm supporting only black-owned. Shout out to all the black-owned beauty supply stores that they came up. You know, the Asians kind of trying to block us out. They really have locked us out of the beauty supply business, to be honest. Unfortunately, but shout out to all the black-owned businesses that are. I know that there's one. What's the name of it? Damn. If y'all live in Fort Washington, it's one that I be going to right over there by Giant. It's in Giant. What street is that? It's on Allentown Road. It's right there in the shopping center in Giant. And I asked the people, I've been there a few times, and I asked one of the people there who it was owned by a black American, and they was like, it's a mix. So I'm assuming that maybe, I don't know, it's a couple or it's a family where they got some black American lineage. They got some, I don't know, maybe some African or some somewhere from the diaspora, some Caribbean lineage as well. Within there, but every time I go in there, it's only black Americans working. Every time I've been in there, so I don't know if it's. Well, I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it's only owned by black Americans, but I know it ain't owned by no damn Asians. Okay, it ain't owned by no damn Asians. Okay, so it's called MBS. Is that what it's called? It's on Allentown Road. It's in Fort Washington. I forgot what it's called, but it's right over there in that shopping center with a Giant. That's the one I be going to mainly, to be honest, because it's black owned. But it's another one I think I heard of in DC. I gotta go check them out. But I've been seeing them pop up. I just been saving them on my TikTok so I can go. You know what I'm saying? Go check them out. But try to avoid at all costs any Asian-owned businesses. At all costs, avoid that shit. I'm sorry. If you gotta go extra mile, if you gotta order it online, if you gotta, make it work, but avoid. We need to dry them the fuck out. Okay, point blank period. Shout out to the sisters that's been on code and ain't been in them damn ain't been in those nail salons. I did see one sister who went up there was like who was checking. She made a video checking into all the Asian stores to see if it was any black folks in there. It was one, I think it was like 2 sisters in there. She was like, I don't know why y'all in here. Y'all better, we ain't in here, but y'all need to get out. Da, 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 da. So, and again, I seen another sister who was like, yeah, if something happens, hey, look, I know Rick Child just got off. And he just unalived the little boy. So if one of these, and we had already seen the balance that come from, again, shout out to RIP to LaTasha Hollins, all right? But even so we've seen other instances with these Asians getting real violent with black women in particular, dragging them out the store, fighting, grabbing weapons, hitting us with it. I've seen all sorts of videos of like that with black women getting attacked by these Asian store owners. So yeah, something like that happening. Y'all know we standing on NBA minutes right now. Not even right now. We need to be standing on it going forward. Damn, right now. We need to be standing on it going forward. So they didn't deserve our dollar. They don't deserve it now, and they surely won't in the future. More than likely. So yeah, we have to stand on business. If you're out here, you still supporting these businesses, and something happens, man, don't come crying. Especially you tethers. Don't come over here crying to black Americans talking about, oh, they racist and they did this to me when goddamn well we not even fucking with them. Okay. So yeah, stay out their stores, man. Point blank period. That's the point. RIP to Cyrus, and best of luck to Karmelo Anthony, because I pray that he does get out of this situation and he doesn't have to serve no damn 35 years. I pray he don't gotta serve a year. And he's exonerated, but we'll see how this process goes. We'll try to keep up with it. Them Arabs too, absolutely. That's true. We need to just be supporting, keep the dollar in the black pocket, keep it in the black American pocket. Keep your black American dollar in the black American pocket, especially because Juneteenth coming up. Okay, Juneteenth is coming up, and y'all don't be afraid to check some of these businesses just to I'm probably gonna circle back on this at some point during the week or something like that as well. But Juneteenth, don't be afraid to tell these businesses to change their flags, because I keep seeing, oh my God, the amount of Juneteenth Pan-Africanist propaganda is out of this fucking world egregious. It's insane. I mean, it's actually insane that it's so much so many RBG colors. They got all red, green, and black, and then they got the yellow in there, like real Pan-Africanist vibes, dashikis. Y'all, this is a Black American holiday. Say that shit for Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a holiday. Kwanzaa is an African holiday. Say that shit for Kwanzaa. Okay, this is not Kwanzaa. This is a Black American holiday. Okay, Juneteenth, red, blue, white. That's the colors. That's the flag. The flag is red, blue, and white. Literally. I had to tell my job that. One of the dude at my job, the director of something, I forgot, regional director, he's African or something. I had to tell him because we had flyers at my job that was red, black, and green, and yellow. I'm like, hey, yo, this is a Black American-owned store. Like, do you not know the name of this motherfucker is after a Black American? And this is a Black American, we are selling Black American food, and this is a Black American store with a lot of Black Americans working in it. Why do we not have the Juneteenth flag in there? Of course, I said a lot more proper. I sent him a nice little 3-paragraph little message. But I'm like, yeah, like we have to honor the ancestor that actually created Juneteenth and the flag, and you know, it should be red, white, and blue. Like, what are we doing? This ain't got nothing to do with Africa, ain't got nothing to do with Africans. And he was like, oh, thank you for the information, the history, and I'm like, but brother, if you're not a Black American, you gotta at least do your due diligence to look up the history. You gotta at least know what the flag, at least throw the flag on the motherfucker. Even if you want to have all this RBG shit, throw the flag on that joint. You know, something. We gotta have something though. But this ain't it. This is, you know what I'm saying? This ain't it. You know, I don't own that motherfucking store. I can't. There's only so much I can do. But I did put my word in. Like, y'all need to change the colors on the flyers. This is the greatest. I would have made the flyer myself had I known the greatest. If I would have made that flyer, I would have been fine. It would have been red, white, and blue as it should be. Okay, it said 1965 up there. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, what you call it? My bad. My trip. Y'all, I said 1965. I'm gonna say 1865, but y'all, make sure y'all stand on Black American Minutes, man. FBI all day. Anyways, let me get up out of here, man. I'm glad y'all up in here. Sorry, I told you that's a lot of changes now. I ain't alive in a minute. I do still work in a restaurant, but I'm not a server no more. I'm a manager, so I be in that bitch like every day. My time, man. As y'all can see my background, I'm not even home. I'm at my man's house. So I be with him a lot too. It's just time, man. Time management. It's just, I'm getting there. We about to work it out. I'm trying to get there. Bear with me, okay? But just a lot of life changes going on. You know, I'm trying to bear with me. We getting it together, but I couldn't let these two cases, Karmelo and Cyrus, I couldn't let this shit go by and not say nothing about it. I got to go live. I got to say something. Okay, got to say something. I got to go live. I got to talk about this like it's egregious. So yeah, I just felt obligated to. I had to. You know, so I'm glad I did this. So I missed y'all, man. I missed y'all. I did. I'm glad y'all up here with me. Y'all are blessed. Anyways, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, ZZ Rants, the back of the ZZ Rants 2. TikTok is ZZ Rants. TikTok, follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Thank y'all for the gifts and everything as well. I appreciate y'all. Yes, real ones rock with the realest. Follow me on TikTok, ZZ Rants. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member if you want exclusive content or join the Patreon. It's appreciated. You can send me something on Cash App if you want to show love. Thank you very much. Thank you for the Cash App tonight, the super chat, super stickers. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Other than that, baby, I think that's all I got. Did I read all the super stickers? I think so. ZZ always standing on business. Appreciate you, B1. Thank you, Omega. I didn't see the Iron Will. At one point, he caught himself about to use the N-word during this live stream, and you could tell he was drunk by the arrogance in his voice. No sorrow, no forgiveness, but we got his true feelings. Of course, you talking about Jeff McCaff, of course, because he's a white supremacist. Thank you for the super sticker. Is that a super chat? I appreciate y'all. Got some robots rocking with us. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace and be one. We do not play, but I green. You fuck with the team. Might find your West in the creek.